Hello, everyone, and welcome to Songwoven, the Blackguard's Gallery. I am your humble narrator, Tim Dontran, and what is a humble narrator without their motley crew? Say ahoy, motley crew!
Ahoy, motley
Ahoy,
crew!
there, matey.
Yeah.
Okay. We are sadly we are down a Humphrey for today.
No snacks.
No snacks for any of us. That's the special rule. If Kev is gone, then no one can eat anything. Everyone has to starve in this game.
Did he put a bunch of post-it notes on like the galley of the ship to like be like, okay, this is where this is, this is where this is. Put this in the microwave for 30 seconds.
He has written instructions.
Do not remove the salt from the salmon. Do not.
Do not throw away the instructions before you cook the food.
The captain is not allowed inside this this room.
Captain is not allowed outside in the cupboard.
We have a few or a single announcement at the top of the show today. I'll toss that over to Jenny.
Well, it's not really an announcement. It's just that we always stream on Sundays also with the Lanaya Expedition. We're probably pre-recording the next few weeks as well. Just like this one is pre-recorded, which I know the first episode, maybe we didn't state that clearly enough and we let down our friend. He was so disappointed.
Very sad chat. Very sad chat.
And, but yeah, so we pre-record the game. Podcast always goes up the next day. YouTube goes up in 2 days. And the VODs are always free to watch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. With all of that said, are we ready for some D&D today?
I'd level up, fans.
Level up, Advanced 5th Edition! We're being sponsored by... Love them so much, thank you.
Thanks, guys. They love all our tweets when we tag them. It's very cute. Thanks, Ian Publishing.
With that said, let's jump right back into another bound to be very fun, very lighthearted session
No.
of the Blackguard's Gallery.
I know it's not.
There's a lot of fear.
So much sus right there.
I mean, because it's a chill session and it's not.
Today,
Like chills down your spine, what I meant.
There we go. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant every time.
Shopping episode, right? That's go shopping.
Episode. It's a shopping episode, absolutely.
Oh yeah, totally. The last episode of the Blackguard's Gallery, our motley crew, consisting of our 7, now 6 in the meantime, dealt with the aftermath of the wrestling competition between Captain Marazar and One-Eyed Jane, where it was heavily weighted in one side. Speaking of heavily weighted, that's Captain Marazar when he was in the water. The session started with Humphrey navigating through the captain's quarters, where he found brief bits of information about what's going on in certain places and what exactly Captain Marazar's intents were. It is there he learned that Captain Marazar is every bit of a pirate that he says he is, but also that Lelantos Boreas, the Lord of House Boreas in the Aenarian Empire, and also Captain Aura's father, has been arrested for treason. For what specific reason or what's going to happen to him, it's all a mystery. As a result of the competition, of course, the latter half of the compass was returned to Zachariah, and the crew began to sail their ship towards the town of labor of Aelores to restock on the supplies for what's bound to be a tumultuous adventure ahead. It is during this ride that our motley crew have really discovered what's at stake here, who's watching them, and who exactly their foes are ahead of them. Daphne scrying on the previous owner of the compass and finding out about a man named Brando Caligaris, the Vice Admiral of the Leviathan's Legion. This, it is there that Brando spoke to a young half-elven man named Daryl, who doesn't seem to be in the best condition right now. After which, Captain Aura began to spoke to many crew members and spoke to Clarence about her concerns about the ride ahead. And to finish it all off, a bottle of whiskey has been shared around the crew, and the title of captain was passed on for just a brief smidge of a moment. With that said, now, a few days have passed. Zachariah, it has been a very frustrating few nights for you. You're not entirely sure what to do with this. What to do with the two pieces of the compass in your hand. You hold it up to moonlight, and that's how it activates. You are the one on the ship that knows everything about this compass. You have been hunting for this thing for 6 months, and you're still not exactly sure what to do here. It's all a mystery to you. You gave the compass over to the ship's artificer, Armin Haas, who has suggested butt welding the two pieces together, which doesn't seem like something that it's not the genteel sort of touch that you want to give to an item of
butts into it.
I will say though, with the magical ink that was gifted to you by Clarence, do you go ahead and enchant the compass with that? All right. So you can now recall the compass to your hand, no matter where in the world it is. It will always come back to you, appear in your hand. It's now bonded to you. On the says on the penultimate night before you all sail towards Aelores, before you land there, you don't sleep much, but sleep has to find you eventually. It's during one particular night when everyone is at rest, but except for Hiljan, who doesn't need to rest as often as the others. sleeping in your quarters, Zachariah. As you are clutching the compass in hand, during a particularly calm night, the dreams have been vivid, and at times you make sense of them, just barely, much like those few nights ago during that storm. But some nights, or most nights, they are colorful blurs that fill your eyes and your mind, and you often tend to wake up sometimes feeling a little dizzy. This is one of those nights. But during this night in particular, during this days of colors and disparate voices, you feel something warm in your hand. And as your eyes shunt open at that moment, you feel something gathering, something pushing at your fingers, in the palm, at the palm of your enclosed hand. And as you open up your hand, you see the two pieces of the compass separated. A light. Thrumming.
I sit up, kind of place them right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Flip them over. And like push them together.
You push them together? Give me a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 17.
A 17. As you push them together, I'm going to say that everyone down in the quarters, you are awakened by a sudden a loud sound. There's no physical quality to it. It doesn't rock the ship, but you hear a loud sound. As for you, Zachariah, as soon as you push the pieces together, it's like magnets. The two pieces eagerly just go and meet one another. And as they do, a storm of just an absolute explosion of speckled lights just fill the room immediately. You are for a brief moment you are just you are rattled as as your vision is filled with light. It's a familiar feeling to you, but you can't exactly put your finger on it. Everyone, I would say Daphne, definitely Daphne and Captain Aura. One of Jane, since you're a deckhand, you're kind of in the upper parts of the ship, sleeping with the hammocks with everyone, but you hear it too. I'll say, and Hilden, you just hear the sudden poof, in the distance.
Hurry. Yeah.
Grab my sword. Running.
Yep.
Yeah, are we in our like jammies kind of thing? Or are we? Also, aren't we hungover as fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are hung. You guys are hung. As everyone begins to hurry down, when Jane, you particularly have a really good initiative. You all make your way down to the quarters where the sort of like private rooms are, and from Zachariah's room, you see bleeding from below bleeding from like around the door frame, just a massive amount of light. Zachariah, you see these floating orbs in the room, and they are all like stuck to the wall. Like they're all like pushing against the wall and the door.
Okay, get up and I don't know, can I go touch one? It's trying to get through the wall.
You touch one, it just goes through. It's light.
Oh, it's just light. I'm dumb. I run back to the compass. I pick it up.
You pick it up. It's together.
Okay. I move it around. Do the lights move?
The lights do move. Yes.
Okay, so it's like creating the light. That makes sense. Okay.
Yes. It is emanating a sort of like sort of like pale blue light, but the stuff around you is not pale blue. It's like a sort of like yellow, like brighter color. What's everyone else doing, by the way? As Zachariah is kind of like bewildered at the moment.
You said that I hear this sound.
Yes.
Like, is it loud enough for me to be like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
If I was manning the helm, the first thing that I would do is I would use a nearby rope to wrap the helm to make sure that the helm stays in the course that I wanted it to. So it would be like a quick sort of that wrap and then just dash to try to figure out what the hell that was.
You are definitely down there with the rest of everyone. You see the same sight everyone else is seeing as well.
Point my sword to the door and look it to our captain and be like, "Captain's orders."
The captain.
I'm not the captain anymore.
Crashed. And you see this small, tiny woman, trying to put her hat on her head. Her hair is all messed up in her face. She wears a giant, oversized shirt to bed, so it looks like a small child, just comes stumbling down. But she still pulled on her, satchel of pistols. And you see her take off one of the pistols and just, waves One-Eye Jane. Like she's so trashed, she can't even focus.
I'm gonna take that wave as a go ahead, and I'm just gonna kick down the door and point my sword at whatever I see.
Boom!
I am currently trying to put my pants on. With the compass in my hand.
As the door is kicked down, one of the hinges breaks because One-Eye Jane is so ridiculously strong. The door just smashes open, and you see immediately the orbs of light that were pushing against the door are not fly out. into the stateroom. So everyone sees
no!
all this energy.
I swipe at one.
I just lock eyes with Jane and slowly finish pulling up my pants.
I'll give you a wink as you do it. Just make it really uncomfortable.
What's happening? Immediately.
That becomes like crouching down.
One-Eyed Jane, you swipe at it and it goes right through. I would say that it goes out towards the room and it stops. It seems like it's the orbs are like forming like a sort of shape, like a sort of like a circular shape.
I would say that Hilgen probably would have had a moment as soon as this thing started come out, raised like a dagger, ready to throw it, and then sees the thing stop, and he just looks inside just in time to see the hand pull. And he notices, I'm assuming that you have the compass in your hand.
Yeah, one hand, like belt of my pants here, no shirt, just.
I have a moment.
um,
I look at the lights and I look at the compass and I just look at you and did the compass did that?
Yeah. Whatever. I'm just gonna rush out the door. Outside.
Or it takes a peek at the topless Zachariah and just gives a nod. Solid nod.
I'll give you like a little fist bump,
Yeah.
like as he passes us. Not you, Zachariah, like the captain. As I notice you back in I was like,
I mean, it's nice. What can I say?
And
Okay.
you see the captain just go, what a... And One-Eyed Jane's head, she hears, what a fine piece of ass that is.
We know how to pick him.
Yeah, that's the despite the huge revelation going on at the moment,
oh,
ass is always important.
Listen!
Zachariah, you take your ass to the top of the ship
Yeah.
where everything is outside.
Yeah, I give him a show as I walk away, and hurry upstairs to the top deck.
All right, you clap your way to the top, and as you do, everyone, I'm gonna assume, I assume everyone follows. Okay.
Yeah.
Not hard, not hard to miss. As you follow Zachariah up to the top of the ship. What am I doing? Zachariah, wherever you're going, Zachariah, wherever you're going, these orbs of light are just are following along, and they are seemingly like. They're seemingly like pushing at the ends of wherever they are. I would say as you run like past the sort of like the middle area. I don't have the terminology for it. Everyone like becomes awake. You just hear like, oh, the fuck is that? As you're just running across this room with a really bright light emanating from your hand. And as you make your way towards the top, and stand outside, you see that these orbs of light finally spread out, and seemingly form the shape of what it was originally intended for. It sprawls out. It is a 25 by 25 foot depiction. Of like this of this sort of map. You've seen maps. You've seen maps before, and this is an entire depiction of like you can tell like islands. Some of the orbs are like moving in a sort of like serpentine looks to like give the impression of water. And as you're standing out now in the moonlight, the light actually becomes brighter, brilliant, more cohesive, and emanating from your hand, Zachariah, from the compass itself, you see a bright blue arrow of light pointing towards a direction.
Yeah. Someone maps from the map room. just need to compare. I sit it down on the deck of the ship, and I just want to try and kind of gauge where it's pointing in relation to like the other islands where we are right now. Try and get a beat on where it's trying to send us.
All right. So someone really quick fetches a map and gives it to you. And you take the time to like your heart's beating in your chest. You take the time to like to look and depict where everything is. And everyone watches Zachariah at work, sprawling over maps and in the midst of this wonderful like this miracle, like almost it.
It's so cool.
You do see that at some point that there is a sort of like one of the orbs of light turns blue, and it just maneuvers itself onto the map itself. But Zachariah, when it does that, you already solved what it meant. It's actually the moment you figure it out that one of the orbs abides and turns blue. The blue orb is where you're at right now. You figured out. This location of this of something that speaks to you specifically, Zachariah. You know deep in you, even though that you don't have any like logistical like evidence, you know deep in you that wherever this map is, it's located. That is where the Bandy Wallop is. It's hard to explain it to other people because this is you. This is you just feel it in your heart. But you map the islands, you find out where on the physical map it is. North of the Riverian Ocean. Past everything. And then you end up circling a place on the map. A place that has no landform. A place directly in the middle of the ocean. Just water. But the compass, the map it gives you, says otherwise.
Question. What time of day is it right now?
It is, I'm going to say that exactly, that the little explosion of light occurred at midnight. Exactly at midnight.
Ooh.
I am going to have Kenway patrol the area thoroughly, and I'm going to actually go ahead and just start moving around the edges of the ship above, keeping an eye on anything that might be unseen, especially because of the fact that we now have some lights on the ship. So considering that we had that little bird following, I will say that my focus right now is actually on checking things around. Besides, the shirtless member of the crew.
Throw me a perception check. What is everyone else doing as Zachariah's busting things wide open?
I want to piggyback off of that, and I want to watch the crew's reaction and kind of discreetly investigate the crew. Not like us, but like I have a theory of something. So I want to just like investigate the crew's reactions and like see if anyone looks too interested, or maybe one of them is slipping off to do something.
Oh, One-Eyed Jane is
Keeping people honest. It seems
Sorry, you
like...
said perception check, yeah?
Yes, give me a perception check. One-Eyed Jane, I'm gonna ask you to give me a perception check as well.
Okay.
Yeah, people are like funneling out. Clarence does eventually come out. He's wearing like a nightcap.
Clarence, not now. Not now. This is important. Go.
I hate you guys.
Why? What did you guys roll?
You guys keep rolling so good at this game. That's freaking.
I can't see. You roll.
21.
22 and 21.
If you must know, I have the keen senses ability, which
Let's
gives
get
me proficiency in
fucked.
perception.
Nice.
For you, Hiljan, breaking off from, you know what to keep focus on. Everyone's looking at one thing. You have to be looking at everything else. Looking out towards the sea, everything is calm, but that's when the sea is at its most scariest. So far, nothing that you can see is coming towards you, and Kenway is out doing the patrols as well. But all seems to be calm at the moment, but you're remaining vigilant. We're gonna keep that 22 perception in mind if you have any other observations. For you, One-Eye Jane, it just seems people are bewildered. It's a repeat reaction of somebody comes out, what's going on? Whoa! And then it happens like 5 times.
Also, just letting you know that I have farsighted with my perception.
All right, you see everything. I got it.
Hiljan sees all.
I have farsight as well, but I'm a little
Jesus
focused right
Christ.
There's a red carp. There's a really nice big red carp in the like 50 feet away in the darkness, Hiljan.
You found Nemo.
In the ocean.
You found Nemo.
Found Nemo.
But for One-Eye Jane, already like just searching for any sort of like any suspicious activity among the crew. It seems like everyone is acting in like, so they're just waiting to like figure out what's going on, and they're fanning out so everyone can get a good look. But I'm gonna keep
Zach's ass.
Roland's like, oh, look at that ass. Oh, also there's a big map.
Fascinating. And look at the map.
We're gonna keep that 21 perception in mind if you have any more specific things you want to bring up in the future. But for now, everything seems good. But it seems like everyone's just watching Zachariah right now for like any big like revelation for him to say something.
Is there anything else comparing the maps that's different besides that island that isn't on the paper map?
Everything else seems to line up. It's just that one glaring problem.
Does the moving map show anything like dangerous, like any storms, sea monsters, other ships, anything like that? Or just this one location?
It's just this one location. You see depictions of like moving water and such, but that's for you to decipher. But other than that, nothing else that really stands out to you.
I pick up the compass and I close it.
As you close it, all the orbs sparkle and just slowly begin to dissipate in the air. And everyone's left seeing Zachariah over some maps.
Oh, when did you all get here? Hey.
At this point, he'll hear soft padded footsteps, and a small hand gently touch his elbow as the captain peers over to look at him in the compass. And he hears in his head, "Neat trick, Zachariah."
You know, I'm good at those. I got a whole bunch.
Care to share?
Captain, you really shouldn't ask your crew that.
She raises an eyebrow and signs for everyone to see. Would you like to step into my quarters then? Make it a little more intimate?
Flattered. But, I got some waiting for me.
So you see her smile and go, well, then let's make sure you can get back to them with some stories to tell. Now, you essentially blew a cannon on my ship at midnight and a lovely, fantastic light show, which I adore.
I
But
mean,
would
it's
appreci-
nothing Coco hasn't done, right?
Of course not. Now, we saw the map, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all saw it.
We all saw the fucking map.
Everyone saw the map.
So,
Yeah. I like look down at the paper map that I've sort of bundled up into my hands. This is the island he told me. Lusa, I think was the name. I don't know.
who told you?
He told you? Yeah, the same.
Yeah, they both go. Both Daphne and Aura go,
Daryl told me.
Daryl
Who's
told
Da-
you.
He's the one who originally figured this all out. I was just there for the ride.
Is that why they have him?
Ooh,
I don't
this is new
know.
information.
Honestly, I have no idea what the Orhandor Navy would want with us. Just a couple of nobodies from the Solarian Empire. I don't.
Do I notice any
Insight
inclination that he
check.
might be lying?
Oh, goodness. Now's your turn to get looked at again.
Also, real quick, just for player knowledge, was
I like to show off.
Was Zachariah with us in the room when Daphne brought up the name Daryl and
Yeah.
describing him?
Yes.
And we
I
asked
talked
each other,
to him.
and said, "Does anyone know that name?" And Zachariah said nothing, right? And
No,
now
I
he
He said
said-
didn't.
yes.
Is that
He told
right?
us.
Oh, he
Zachariah
did say
said-
yes. Okay.
You specifically said, like, you asked for a last name, and Zachariah said, we don't have last
Oh,
names.
we
we're
didn't have
orphans."
last names, right? So we know that they knew each other. Got it. Continue.
Yeah.
And just to wind it back a little bit, Hanlusa is the
Hanlusa.
his name. Hanlusa.
Han Lucy.
Yeah,
Hanlusa.
Hanlusa.
I'll type it.
But... Hanlusa.
Lucy.
But yeah. Do I notice any inclination he might be lying?
Yeah. Okay. Start throwing.
One eye chain
start-
and
start-
Daphne are like, ah!
Start throwing insight checks at me.
Okay. I have a specialty in detecting lies. So
Y'all are scary.
I know.
Scary
D4.
crew.
We ain't the Blackguard for nothing.
We have to blink her for nothing.
Include
Like,
specialty.
Hilton's like, I see all. Daphne's like, I know
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Not great.
I go sorrow and everybody's like, oh, I see you.
Oh, good thing I got high charisma and proficiency in things.
I rolled a freaking 8. So.
Go ahead. For you, Zachariah,
Hmm.
I want you to roll to me in secret, persuasion,
Okay.
or deception.
Okay.
Keeping that secret.
Secret rolls.
Ooh, okay.
Trying to see if I have anything. for
Did I send it to you in I'll just send it to you in Discord.
Please and thank you.
Thanks to Level Up 5th Edition,
Thank
we
you.
have all the things we can add now to our rolls.
Advanced level of 5th edition. Fuck your secrets. How dare you?
Fuck your secret.
Yeah, doesn't Humphrey have one where he can make
Honestly,
an insight
Humphrey-
check?
Humphrey, this would be a Humphrey roll, but alas, he's not here today.
Hmm.
So, or Humphrey's napping.
I had to step out of the kitchen for this.
Oh, Victor,
Okay.
you're muted.
Send
Oh,
Victor, you're muted.
Victor. You,
Just-
We can't hear you. You're muted.
Victor, you're muted. There you go.
Well, I mean, now you'll never know where the treasure was. It's a one-time thing.
the one time thing.
So okay, real quick, what's the statement that's being incited? Just one more time. Just talking about Daryl and the treasure.
did
He doesn't know why they would care about them.
yeah.
It
We're
does.
just a couple of nobodies from the Solarian Empire.
He is speaking very openly. he's speaking very openly and frank at the moment. He's the two of you can decide, especially you, Daphne, that he's definitely telling the truth.
Definitely. Okay.
Definitely.
Jenny does not like that answer.
Sorry, absolutely.
Especially Daryl. I mean, he's never done anything. I don't. It's the Leviathan Legion. We're not even from the country, let alone. I don't know what they'd want with us, but I mean, unless it's this, but they had half of it, so I don't.
And I'm guessing, yeah. So they got the other half of the compass from Daryl.
Yeah. How is what I want to know.
Why isn't Daryl with you?
That's what I want to know.
Hilgen is going to approach the group as he says, "Well, I believe for now it appears that we may have a destination, yes?"
Yeah. If they just want us to lead them there, then they can follow, for all I care. I'll be honest. As interested as I am, what lies at the end of this is a secondary goal for me. So.
You don't want treasure?
Eh.
So can I get your half of the treasure?
We will discuss that later.
Mm-hmm.
Hilgen is just going to add, looking at Zachariah in that response to One-Eyed Jane as he goes, "Sometimes we may need treasure, but desiring it is not necessarily the reason why we go for it."
Kind of along for the treasure, but okay.
What's your primary goal?
Well, if it was my decision, we'd be sailing straight towards our Hondor to go swipe Daryl back from this old guy. Of course, that'd be incredibly reckless and stupid and dangerous, and that's why I'm not the captain.
Hilgen is going to look at Aura very knowingly.
She raises an eyebrow like, yes, no. Never do those things, ever.
We never do.
No.
We would never.
No, would never. No.
No. Mm-mm.
I can't remember why we're separated. I don't know what happened. Last thing I remember is we found the other half and we put it together. And it all goes foggy. And I remember Daryl looking at me, and there was just this look on his face, and I don't like it. I don't know what happened. That's what I want to know. Daryl was the one who wanted to go to the Bandy Wallop anyway. I just wanted to get him there.
Did you make it to the Bandy Wallop?
I don't think so.
What if we get to the Bandy Wallop and like we all end up like, and I'll kind of point over to Zachariah like that.
Hot?
Okay,
looks at her
Zachariah,
ass.
look at this. I'm fine.
Look, I'm just saying that I have both eyes, alright?
Excuse
Aura
me?
looks at her flat ass and just gives a little nod, like, yeah.
Hilgen is going to have a moment where he looks at Zachariah and the compass as he hears that story, and so are you trying to say that perhaps this compass have some sort of magic that made you not realize where you were or made you forget something? Because if so, then I suppose we must be careful not to this together again.
I don't know. I wish I had answers for you.
We should
I
be
got-
careful
I got nothing.
regardless.
Yeah.
If they gave this to us, it was for a reason, and it probably wasn't out of the kindness of wanting to fulfill a prisoner's wish. So,
Perhaps their way to use the compass has a very high price to pay.
Well, and you see her sign this so everyone can see. Let's just hope we can run fast.
On the water?
I can actually. And you see her tug on one of her earrings. I can actually walk on it. It's pretty fucking cool. So yeah. Captain Mars, alright. Don't got that shit.
Would you
still
graft
trashed.
metal to your scales when you're on the water?
You know, he's all about aesthetic, which I respect and appreciate. And she gestures to her giant oversized shirt, with her hat skewed. I have none. So I have a lot of respect for that man. All right, everyone. Well, that was exciting. And she pauses to, sign clapping. Thank you for the light show, Zachariah.
Anytime.
We have a destination. We have certain goals. She looks to One-Eyed Jane, whether being wealth and nods to Zachariah, personal connection. And we certainly know who's interested in on our tail. She looks to Daphne. So their next little stopover we have looks to Hilgen. I say we get in and we get out quite quickly with what we need.
Hilgen gives a nod as he adds, I will make sure that our journey there is going to be hard for whoever decides to follow.
I love it when you talk that way. Give him a few 360s on the way over.
Happy to do so.
Clarence is just like...
I guess I will say, Hilden turns to Zachariah as he goes, I would like a refresher as to where exactly we are supposed to be going so that I can chart the course.
Maps. Let's go to the map room. Do you guys want me to put on a shirt?
Aura shakes her head no.
Okay,
Nah.
let's go.
Hilden is
no,
just
you're
looking
complete-
at this.
You're completely
Hilden is
fine.
looking at this exchange like completely oblivious, like he doesn't understand what's happening.
It's just
Zachariah, a shirt is thrown at you from one of the crew.
Boo.
It's Brooke.
Fuck.
Put it on.
Someone wants to take it off, I guess. But
She gives you a deadly glare.
give her a wink and then just kind of make my way down. Shake my ass. Down to the...
Yes.
down to the map room.
I'll say,
Go ahead.
I'll say that I look at Aura as Zachariah starts heading to the map room, and he just signs to her just to say, I'm staying up. I want to keep an eye on things.
He'll hear in his head, I'll keep an eye out. And also, as she watches Zachariah, retreat down below deck, be gentle. Please.
He nods.
Please. She gives him a look like... She's like, I know you are quick and to the point, which is one thing that I adore about you, but please, go easy on the kid.
Hilton just has that moment when he starts stunning and he goes, No promises. And then he
God damn it.
Daphne, I think, is going to slip away, and you can just speed through it if there's nothing interesting. But I would like to scry on Daryl, as I'm curious if there might have been some sort of, since he was connected to the compass, if there was any reaction to what had just occurred. I might be a little too late if there was. There might be nothing interesting, might just be a guy in his cell, but I would like to do that.
I'll give it to you quick. You scry, and you are privy to the inside of a moving wagon. Daryl is nicely dressed, already better, probably magically healed from the injuries he had sustained before. And he has a ring on his finger that he is continuously looking at. But he just seems to be in a wagon that's surrounded by, of course, other wagons. It's a convoy of sorts. And as far as like looking for any like visceral like reaction, nothing tells you that anyone here knows about what happened. You feel.
All right. Okay.
Out of character moment, this is just like players to players. Do you think that Daryl could have cast like something on Zachariah so that he forgot what happened? Or do we think it's the compass?
Totally possible.
Ooh, yes, that's a
I mean, I
good
wouldn't-
theory.
I wouldn't put it past it for sure.
If he was trying to protect him or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
Got
that's
captured.
what. Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know because all the wisdom saving throws with that compass. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, with that all said, Daphne, you slip away. Zachariah and Helgen going off to map the charts. One-Eye Jane and Captain Aura, what are the two of you doing?
I'm scanning like Hilton asked me to. She's just got her hat tipped back and her hands are behind her back as she's just padding around, looking at the outskirts of the ship. Really kind of lost in thought. She's not really looking like she should be, like Hilton asked her to.
That's why I have to rely on Kenway. This is what I have to deal with.
The Eagles.
Kenway's flying, looking at Aura, and just kind of like going.
You hear an eagle sigh.
You asked this, yeah. You asked the space cadet to, scan the horizon.
Kenway's just like,
God damn it!
go around again.
She's definitely looking at the stars and thinking though, but she's pacing walking around.
Kenway is keeping an eye.
They've worked it out. It's been 10 years. They figured this shit out.
Yeah.
I'll say that like all the other members of the crew are out now. They're like they're awake. Like so, like very few of them go back to sleep, but a lot of them are like there's excitement in the air. We actually have a lead. What do you think is there? People are talking with each other and excitement. One-Eye Jane, you definitely like keep note of like what is going on with your earlier 22 perception. But it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like anyone has any like forwarding. The only thing you actually see is that Daphne slipped away. But yeah. And some other crew members are also keeping an eye out, but especially the Eagle, who is putting in double time at the moment. Anything you're doing in particular?
I would grab a blanket for the captain because she's just in her nightshirt, and so I would feel bad. There you go. I'm just gonna don't make eye contact, and then I just walk away. I did the above deck kind of perception, but I want to go like through the lower levels of the ship. Just kind of make a couple laps and make sure there's no one sneaking about.
Sorry. just because you added that, you give her a blanket.
Yeah,
you can't run away from that. I'm sorry.
No, damn it!
You see exactly. Get back here.
Okay.
You as soon as you place the blanket, she gives you a nod. As you start to move off, you hear a voice in your head say, "One-Eyed Jane.
Mhm.
What has words but never speaks?"
I have an answer, but I don't want to insult you.
Aura tilts her head, and you hear in your head, "Why would you insult me with an answer that I'm asking for?"
Okay, because I was gonna say you, because like physically, but mentally
You hear gargled, chuckling laughter. And
phew, okay.
there's actually like spit coming out of her mouth because she can't swallow it. She's laughing so hard. You see her tilt her head as she waves a hand over and she goes, "Would you care to walk with me around the deck?"
Yeah, I would love that.
And she'll wait to see if she joins her, and then she'll just, with her little blankie now. It's probably actually like a human-sized blanket, so it's like this robe just trailing behind her.
It's a really big cloak.
Big cloak, this
That's the
tiny
best thing
woman.
about being like a halfling is that blankets are super big.
You get the extra large
Um,
blanket for like normal price.
Yeah.
Listen, I can buy
Blankets must be like
kids'
a
clothes.
boulder on top of it.
Kids' clothes are like cheap as fuck, yo, so we're good. So she'll start walking with One-Eyed Jane, and in her head she goes, "That is a brilliant answer." So now I have to amend that riddle because originally I had a book, but I love
Cool.
that.
Yeah, book makes more sense that you would ask me about that.
No,
Okay, yeah.
no. I like me. I like me as an answer. That's a good
Okay.
One-Eyed Jane. I'm gonna use that one again. Um, She says, "I haven't really had a chance to," and she gives you a wink, "speak with you because it's all in your head."
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Uh-huh. Nice weather we're having, eh? So about that map, that was something. Hey.
When I was little, my first exposure to the world was through books. Lands that I would never, or think I'd never see, people I'd never meet. I remember it was so easy to get lost in them. Do you ever feel that way when you read?
Yeah, you know, I just really like words. And adventures, I guess, you know, and the best adventures.
And treasure, a true
And
pirate
treasure.
at your
Yeah.
heart.
Hey, you know, all my stories, my history, it's kind of
I
in my
do.
blood to be a pirate.
It's colorful and
Mm.
brilliant. I enjoy listening to them. And I'm happy you're here.
I'm happy too.
So treasure is all you seek for someone who rides the seas and peruses the pages of stories in our little library.
Yeah, something you don't know about me actually is I'm a shopping addict and I need to fund that. I love shiny things. I love stuff. So myself, One-Eyed Jane, loves money. It's like,
I can tell.
mm-hmm.
Someone who is so giving. She gestures to the blanket. Clearly is just in it for themselves. You feel a gentle squeeze on your hand. And you hear in your head, you know the expression, "Don't judge a book by its cover"?
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want to be on this ship. I don't care where you come from unless you want me to.
One-Eyed Jane will kind of get actually like very serious for a moment and just like look at you, kind of like tilt her head. Captain, I'm exactly who and where I want to be right now.
And you see a very big smile on her face as you hear in your head, good. Because I've been thinking, I'm getting a little old. What will I do with this crew if I want to retire?
She'll like perk up a little bit. I mean, you don't look a day over. Weather, eh? What were we talking about?
And she'll just continue walking and go, what do you think? And now she's just, rambling and musing with you.
Yeah.
In the midst of this rambling and musing, there comes a moment where there's quiet, and it's a very pleasant conversation in a particularly cold night. In the midst of this, when there's a particular pause, but perhaps after a laugh or the sharing of a smile, behind the both of you, a sudden voice comes up as if a person has suddenly appeared. You hear, Captain, just very suddenly.
Accidentally, her hand goes to her pistol.
Yeah, mine goes to my sword.
And as you
calmly turns.
So both of you turn, you just see Brooke with her arms.
Oh, damn it.
She's happy about this. She's happy about this. She tips her hat and she signs Brooke. With her giant robe. Blinky.
She just goes, sorry, it's still a bit shaky, but I've tried my best. And she's going to sign to you. And she's right. It's very shaky. But she's been hitting the books. She's been trying to learn this, to learn sign language. But you do pick up what she's saying. She's saying to you, when we get to that harbor town, can I come with you to port? I just want to stretch my legs and land a little bit.
At this point, Aura will have the biggest smile on her face. She'll cheer, clap, she'll cheer for her and sign. Walk up to her and she'll gently take her hand instead. And in her voice, she'll hear, sorry, our group chat. There was something someone posted that's very true. Sorry, Albert posted, in like the 50s when women would wear like the widow robes, like the long elegant. That's not what Aura looks like at all. Elegant robe. Anyway, back to this heartful moment.
I would say that you take her hand. Brooke has always been very tense, and that is, she's very tight in the hands right now. She's a very I don't want to say hard individual, but she is.
She'll just wait to see if she let her hold her hand, and wait for her to relax. She's patient.
There is a moment where like the shoulders come up. Typically very guarded individual. And there's almost the instinct to like jerk her hand away. But for a moment, and it's a good bit,
She'll wait.
her hand slightly relaxes, and you feel it.
And at that, she'll hear in her head, just between her and Brooke, she'll hear a voice in her head say, I am so proud of you. You have nothing to prove to me. And she'll release her hand.
Make an insight check for me.
I love my babies.
Thanks, Mom.
They're mouthfuls. Insight check. Stat is wisdom, right? Ask me an input value. Does that something we can argue?
Yeah, sure. If you can.
I don't know how to argue charisma for that though. Let me just roll wisdom. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Level up 5th edition.
It's part of reading people. Go ahead, roll charisma. I'll allow it.
Fuck it. Level up 5th edition, everyone. 27. I rolled a nat 20, so it's 27.
I also
Nice.
rolled a nat 20, but the modifier is lower than yours. So that's crazy.
Oh my god.
Someone who's so guarded with their feelings, but like, you've known Brooke for a while. She listens and she's loyal to a T. You've basically saved her from dealing with guards after she killed a noble in self-defense. And it's at this moment of affirmation, of acknowledging her place and her efforts, that you see her lips kind of like curl in for a moment, as if holding back something, and you catch the smallest glimpse of a smile.
Oh.
Which is a body's natural reaction. Despite Brooke's best attempt to hide it, she cannot hide. She cannot deny what her body is feeling right now. But
He's a good kid.
It subsides immediately.
Yeah, that's okay.
She just goes.
Wasn't even looking for a reaction.
She just goes. Thank you.
And she'll sign, "Keep up the great work," and continue walking with One-Eyed Jane, if she wants to continue with her. Or she'll sign to the both of them, "I'm going to continue to look at the stars like Hildren told me to." Is there any... Is there anything you guys need from me?
That's it. I'll keep a watch out as well.
Wonderful. Carry on, ladies. And Aura's eyes slide over to both of them. I'll give you... Actually, I have to go. Oh dear, look. There's someone calling me in my head. Oh no. And she's going to just shuffle off with the blanket, leaving those two alone.
Just kind of look over at Brooke.
Brooke looks over at you.
You want to arm wrestle? I'll go easy on you.
Goes. Not like you need to. I can take you down anytime.
Take off my sword, put it to the side. Hey, how do we want to do this?
She looks at you take off the sword, and she just kind of like rolls her eyes. She just goes, "I'm gonna go do my job," and she just turns and walks.
Just kind of shake my head with a really big smile as I watch her walk away, and then
she does look back at a moment and catches that smile, and she sees the smile. You didn't say anything, but she just goes, "Shut up, idiot," and just walks away.
I'm gonna cry and puke at the same time.
that's it.
Yep.
For now. All right. Now we're gonna go over to Zachariah and Hildejan. The two of you spend the moment laying out maps, getting ready to chart the course. The place we're going to after Aelores. The talks are very technical. The two of you are getting down to business, and Zachariah, your mind's on this right now. Hildejan, is there anything you want to say in particular?
Yes. Hilgen will be keeping an eye and checking with Zachariah, seeing the whatever the best course is. But Hilgen will also add, I would like to try to find any particular areas with tall land on our journey. I do not know whether or not we are going to be followed, but if we are, I want to make sure that we make it difficult for them to do so.
It'd be so bad if they were following us.
I do not know. What do you think?
Well, in my opinion, if they're going to have the treasure I seek on their ship, then I say we make it as easy as we want.
Hilgen just looks at Zachariah for a long while.
We'll know they'll be following us.
That is presuming that we know who is following. Let me ask you. The compass. Has it done anything odd since you got it together?
I mean, I open the compass again. Does it
That
light
is
show
not what I
immediately?
mean.
Like that? No?
Hilden is like, that is not what I mean.
What do you mean then?
I mean,
I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not the brightest, so.
I mean to you, while it's been in your possession.
It gets warm sometimes. I mean, it
And
could
that
just
is all.
be because it's in my pocket. That I have noticed, yeah. I mean, once again, this is, pretty cool. If I do it a couple times, I probably open it and blind myself for a second.
Hilden is looking at the maps for a moment. So tell me, if you are open to them following us, and the treasure that you desire is potentially on their ship, why not just suggest that we go after your treasure first?
Well, because that seems incredibly dangerous, and while I'm not worried about myself, I've already gotten you guys into a lot of danger already.
And yet, you are here asking us that perhaps it's not a bad idea for someone who may be our enemy to follow.
Well, if I ask the captain, should we do this stupid plan? There's You know what she'd say, right? She'd obviously say,
Hilton just waits.
Terrifying.
you know, she'd probably leave it up to a coin toss, is probably what she would do.
Would you leave the fate of this ship to Aquintus?
I'll tell you this. I am very happy that Captain Marazar was as honorable as he was. Because I was ready. I was not leaving that ship without the compass.
Hilton looks at the maps once more, uses a finger to sort of trace some of the areas that they've been charting. And I am sure that you know that we would not have left that ship without you.
Yeah. Man, I lucked out.
Yes,
This
you
is the
did.
first ship I asked. I
I
mean,
suppose for now.
it's a cool looking ship, so that one, I think. It was just a feeling, you know.
I'm sure that Ora would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Hilton makes his way to the door, pauses, turns back to him. Find me some land along the way. I am choosing to be cautious.
All right.
If you want to discuss and argue that at any point, you know where to find me. Hilton just looks at him and the compass one last time. Seems to think about saying something. And then he just leaves, going back to the buff deck.
I've known this ship makes such dramatic exits.
There
Alright.
is a pressure leaves the room alongside him. Like, oh, it's
Yeah.
warm. It's kind of warmer now that he's gone. It was pretty cold before.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I look down at the compass. Just you and me now.
Squeak, 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 squeak. You hear his tiny squeaking sound.
The real BBEG of this game.
Everyone's nauseous.
I kind of peer around. Do I spot him?
In this map room, you do see, and I'll say yes. You see a tiny, a rather large now rat, currently eating a cracker, next to like a hole that's been dug in the wall.
What if the mouse was the familiar all along?
I grab him.
You grab him.
I try to grab him.
All right,
Rip Zachariah.
go ahead and give me a stealth check. The rat's a lich. Finger of death, baby.
A stealth check, you say, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Natural 20.
Whoa. Let's
plus
fucking go.
9. 29.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
You beat the rat. As you just kind of like lurch closer, you suddenly leap, and your hands wrap around the rat. You have done something that no one else on this ship has done your entire time here. Your hands touch the untouched hair, the untouched coat of little bastard.
I hold him up and I look at his eyes.
Squeak, squeak. Looking
Just
at
know
you.
I could do this again if I wanted to. Got anything to tell me?
Mouse stare.
Goes, meet me in Aelores. As
I fucking
you
knew
drop the rat in a panic,
God damn it, Tim!
I knew it.
and the rat scurries away.
I fucking knew it!
I was gonna invite you to my room. Jesus. All right.
I knew it! I knew it!
I
Meet
turned
him in
back
where?
to the Aelores,
Aelores.
right? That we're heading there, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Fucking knew it. God damn it, Tim.
All right. I know you're still listening. I'll meet you there, but wear something cute. I'm gonna grab my stuff and head back to my room.
Okay. You do head back to. I'll say that as everyone sort of settles, and we're gonna do a little bit of a time travel. You as you go back to your room and survey what's been going on. You haven't seen Coco or Squee, like none of you have seen Coco or Squee. And that mystery is solved really quickly because you see them snoring, snoring in their hammocks. Daphne, you might figure out that the bottle of whiskey that went missing was in their possession and it's completely gone.
Do I pass through that area?
Yeah.
Do I see Brooke's hammock?
Yeah.
Is there anything just interesting in her area?
There's
Of her
multiple
belongings.
there's multiple books.
What do I think she probably is the most attached to?
Oh boy.
All because she made you wear a shirt?
No one put the shirt on these.
No one put the shirt on Zachariah!
There is if this is a harmless prank, then you might not want to take this, but there is there's a cracked pendant of that she's had with her this whole time, but she's left it up like on her footlocker.
I'm gonna look it over. Anything interesting about it besides it's just a cracked pendant?
It's just it's basically a cracked pendant. It's made of a sort of platinum material and some light blue something. It has a nice intricate design to it. She was from a circus.
Got it. Is there anything less personal, I suppose?
Okay.
Just something she would definitely notice went missing.
Good call.
But, but less lethal.
Word lethal.
Like she has a lot of knives. There's a lot of knives here. And her clothes. She actually doesn't keep too many personal belongings. Like her books are there. She has a secret.
Is there a book she's in the? Oh, continue.
Yeah. She uses little feathers as bookmarks. That as you kind of open up one of the books, and it's a kind of a children's book kind of feather too.
Okay. I'm going to take all the feathers out of all of the books.
Evil.
I'm going to take them over to Squee and Coco and just sort of scatter them around them. And then I'm also going to just real quick. I wanna fray the edges of the hammock so that when she lays in it, it just.
Okay. You got it.
This is war. Y'all have waged war.
I make sure I leave no notice of myself. You know what? I will also take one feather and I will bring it over to. Does One-Eyed Jane have a hammock here, or does One-Eyed Jane have her own room?
She has a hammock.
I'm gonna put a feather over there too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I skip away to my cabin.
Skip away. Oh god. All right. Well, we were gonna time travel, but we gotta now do this. So
Notice.
as everyone's heading down towards their towards the quarter, and the crew is beginning to put back kind of like put themselves back into bed. One-Eyed Jane, you sleep among like next to like where all the cannons are and where all the hammocks are tied up.
I locked my door, by the way.
Well, one of the hinges is broken, so you're gonna have to fix that real quick.
Oh,
Not gonna do much for you, buddy.
it's fine. They don't know I did it. It's fine.
One-Eyed Jane, as you're just kind of like slipping back into your hammock, you do see that there's a feather, in your hammock.
I mean, is that abnormal? I guess we're on a ship, so yeah, there's not like a lot of feathers just floating around.
Yeah, it's not like an eagle's feather either. That's the only like bird on this ship.
Okay. Well, I'm tired from being rudely woken up by Zachariah's compass. I just pocket it and just try to settle in, not thinking about it.
And as you're settling in, just kind of like getting ready to nestle yourself within the hammock. What the hell? As you hear a loud a thud, as you look to see Brooke folded in half as she fell to the ground. You see the one end of her hammock has completely like snapped and fallen. She quickly recovers and then like looks down, and she's immediately like bewildered.
What's up? You don't know how to tie a proper knot on a ship?
Glares at
Need
you
some
for
help?
a moment. She looks at the rope, and she just throws it, looking at you, glaring. You think this is funny?
A little bit. Just a tad.
You see the other people are like watching like stunned, and sadly Daphne and they're all in like their quarters, which are in the lower decks. She just goes, pick it up. Pick up your sword. I want this to be fair.
All right. I'll swing out of my hammock, and I'm not even gonna touch my sword. Let's go.
And she runs towards you. We're gonna roll initiative.
Oh my God, Zachariah, look what you did!
1 second.
15. Hold on, I gotta go to my combat.
Rogue v Berserker.
Oh, like, I guess we're
Name
rolling.
some music.
I guess.
Here we go.
I guess. Thanks, Albert.
Zach-
Combat.
Zach is gonna stay in his room and just listen. While he...
Sick
I
bastard.
hate you.
All right, 1
Oh.
second here. Did you roll? Okay, roll initiative.
Yeah,
Let me go.
15.
23. She immediately rushes towards you in this very low like stance. She's a blur. Brooke is unbelievably fast, and she's going to go ahead, and she just goes ahead, and she reels back a little bit, and she like comes in with an unarmed strike towards your rib cage. Here we go. 17 hit.
17 is my AC, so she probably has a higher dex, right?
Yes.
Ooh, she's strong.
Yeah. Brooke
Go
gonna fuck
ahead.
people up.
Go ahead. She's going to spend 3 exertion points. 4.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
she's angry.
Make a con saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh Jesus.
Okay. Here. Disadvantage though. 8. Oh god.
You are
Isn't
paralyzed.
Oh no!
As you're about to like throw up your blade to like defend yourself against Brooke, all of a sudden this punch to the rib, you feel the pain, and all of a sudden it sort of like sparks throughout your body, and you feel your muscles begin to tighten, and just seize. She takes this moment as everyone watches Brooke take One-Eyed Jane behind the legs and just take her to the ground.
Oh damn! Oh my! Oh dear!
Like peek outside my door.
I'm not watching any of this. I'm not watching any of this.
I know I'm stunned on the ground, but Jane can't help but smile. Wow, this woman is strong. Okay.
Yeah, she mounts on top of you, holding a hand down on your neck, and she's going to punch you again. She has advantage now, and all these are auto crits. Oh gosh!
Oh my god, she's gonna kill me! I think what I did is
17?
intentionally rolling low. She's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Okay, that's a crit. So that's double. I believe the ruling in events for the edition. I have to look it up again later, but you double everything.
My god!
So 22 points of damage.
Okay.
That's with an added sneak attack on top. So that is an additional 16 points of damage.
It's so sneaky how she got on top of her and punched her.
It's so
I didn't see it coming.
Mounting her. Yeah, she didn't see it. Hold on, she didn't see her mounting her coming.
You see, as Brooke is directly on top of her, hand down, like below your neck area. She's gonna use a bonus action. She could flurry of blows.
She's a monk.
Is it adept too?
Yeah, adept rogue.
God damn it!
She you see she pulls out one of her daggers, and by this point, I'm gonna go ahead and say, Daphne, because you're attuned to the hunt going to the ship. You hear in the upper deck, yeah.
He was just putting her scrying all away, getting ready to go back to bed. And she turns out and starts that way.
Daphne is HR.
You see, instead of like throwing another punch, she pulls out a dagger, a knife, and holds it up to your throat. She just goes, "Not laughing now, are we?" Just glaring into your eyes.
Jane blushes.
She pushes the dagger in more. She just goes, "Admit it. I beat you. Admit it." And by this point, kind of like acting out of initiative, Daphne, you're making your way up. And right now you're in the middle of going through a crowd.
She summons her sword, Cenotaph. And when she pushes her way through, sees what's going on, she just goes to, not to cut her, but to hit Brooke's arm away with the sword.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay.
Good practice for us using our attacks.
Yeah.
I have such a long description there. I should just get rid of it so it doesn't do that every time. I rolled a 14.
Well, because you got a cool weapon.
In this moment, before you, as you're approaching, you're ready to break this up. One-Eyed Jane, you have a moment to utter something, as Brooke is just looking at you with like, there's pure like, there's anger coloring her every movement.
Yeah, I just look at her and I say, "You're so beautiful."
Oh my god!
She blinks. She stunned for a moment. As you see a sword is swung from the side. Brooke, you see her eyes like shift for a moment as she sees this wide swing start coming in, not to injure her. Obviously a warding strike. Brooke rolls off instinctually, dodging the strike, springs up immediately, points the knife towards you, Daphne, and then realizes And then she just she puts away the knife. She cut my hammock.
Wait, that's what this was about?
I don't really care why it happened because it shouldn't have happened. But she still like just shakes her. She goes, "Did you cut her hammock?"
When
Why
I'm
would
Jane
you
is still
do
laying
that?
on the floor, just kind of like stunned for different reasons. You know, I wish I would have cut your hammock now, but no, it wasn't me.
By
Make
the
a-
gods, you're all children. She
She walks up to One-Eyed Jane and just reaches down towards her, and she places both hands on your on parts of your shoulders and neck, and she just all of a sudden pressure puts pressure on different parts of your on your neck and shoulder, and you just feel the paralysis fade away.
Slowly get up. Wow.
What do you want me to do? Looking towards Daphne.
I want you to organize the room we didn't get to after the storm. Then you can fix your hammock and go to bed.
I'll get on that. And she walks away.
This is the people watching. Are they still like all grouped up, or are people starting to disperse?
They're grouped up. They're like they are rubbernecking. They are watching.
I noticed that group now that I'm not in combat, and I looked them all very seriously, like just glancing at the group. Don't get any ideas.
Kind of hard not to. Rolling go.
Fucking
Go
roll
to
it.
bed.
And everyone's
She
going
just-
to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sword
I'm gonna wait
disappears.
till Daphne leaves.
Yeah, she does once everything seems calmed down.
And then I'm gonna like sneak off into the room that Brooke was cleaning and just kind of like knock on the side to get her attention.
What?
I can't sleep anyways, so you can take my hammock. I'll clean this. And besides, and I just start like moving into the room and start like moving stuff. You need your beauty sleep anyways. And then just start like cleaning the room.
And
What do you think you're doing?
You bested me. I hadn't had such a good fight in a long time, so thanks.
Obviously, you haven't been fighting good enough people.
You're right. Did I ever tell you about the time I fought a shark and I just start like for the rest of the night? If she stays in the room, I'm just gonna like start like telling random stories while cleaning with her.
She just
When she leaves, though, I just do it in silence.
as you're going, she's doing the job with you. She just goes, please. you're going to help, at least be good company and be quiet.
So it was me and the shark, 1v1. And you would think the shark had the upper hand as we were in their terrain. And then I keep talking the whole night anyways.
She does something strange. She just endures it. Usually when Roland keeps talking, Roland's punched in the face. But maybe it could be maybe it's the fact that Daphne scolded her, that she's this is her punishment, but she absolutely just takes it. as you're talking about it, and she's just completely like just completely and utterly trying to ignore you, but it's impossible. But it does put a pep in her step to like try and get things organized faster.
Mm-hmm.
You're eventually done. And she just goes, just, I don't need charity.
I'm not offering you charity.
I'm just owning up to my own mistakes.
Between you and me, I probably would have done the same thing if I thought you cut my hammock, so you don't need to explain yourself to me.
You didn't, right?
Like I said, I kind of wish I did, but no.
Well, in that case. She's trying to say something and it's really hard. My bad.
Give her a big slap on the shoulder. There you go. Atta girl. Now.
You're very strong.
Yeah. Just one hammock.
She just goes, well,
Shut the fuck up. Shut
what
the
do you,
fuck
wait,
up.
Wait, what do you say?
There's one hammock. You can have it. I want to sleep under the stars tonight. And I'll just walk off and I'll go sleep. I don't know, just find a cozy place on the top of the ship and cuddle up and just...
She stops and she goes, if you ever find out who did it, you tell me. I hope they like having a mouthful of teeth.
And I tell. And I just walk off.
Share the hammock, you cowards.
You do catch. She just tucks a lock of hair behind her ear, and as you walk away, she just very quietly go, "Idiot."
Okay.
After the crowd kind of clears, I want to sneak out and I want to fray One-Eyed Jane's hammock too.
You mother! Make a stealth check. No, this is not free this time.
Can I? Well, because people are like gathering. Can I just kind of sleight of hand, just like try
I don't
and?
think we're not making it to our destination, are we? We're just gonna end up killing each other before we even get there.
I was thinking I was going to bed, so
Yeah. Oh gosh, we need to get to Aelores today. Yeah, make a sleight of hand check as you come out and you fray the knot.
Sleight of hand. Okay, so that is 9 plus 5. So this is a plus 14 to the roll.
Okay.
That is 13 plus 14, so 27.
plus 14. Jesus.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm gonna add. I'm gonna use Intrepid to add a proficiency die as well. So to expertise die 2. So 29.
This fucking crew.
As you're getting ready and you make the quick cut and you're very sure no one saw you, as you do pass a storming Daphne.
Daphne, what happened?
Doesn't matter. It's done.
All right. Jeez. It's never a quiet night on the Injusticar, is there? I'll just head to bed.
In Usticar, but yes. She goes on.
The moment you're done fraying the knot, you hear, well, 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 look who it is. Good old Zachary, oh boy. Roland
Hi.
goes. You turn around to see Roland, and says, "So what is the pleasure of you bequaffing your chest hair at everyone here? What do you think you're doing?"
I don't know. What am I doing?
Says, "When I take my shirt off in front of the whole crew, I get things like put it back on, and Daphne and Daphne always spouting all kinds of things at me. But you've had your shirt off for a record amount of time around here. What have you done?"
Nothing really special. I mean, maybe, I guess it's like a diet, maybe? I don't know. Just comes natural.
Kind of like leers at you. He just goes, "I know who you are. Because we're exactly alike."
Shut the fuck up. Roland is too much.
Goes, "I can realize raw magnetism when I see it.
Oh gosh.
But I don't understand why people are looking at you and not me."
Oh my god.
You know, it's probably because I talk slightly less.
Is that the fucking problem? He actually goes into thought.
It might be. I don't
No,
want to shut up.
people love it when I talk.
How many times have you been punched in the face because you kept talking? I haven't gotten punched in the face, so that's probably why it still is, you know.
I see it as a sign
Looking.
of endearment. I'm getting to them. I know Brooke.
Really?
She,
You know what? Here, I'll be wingman for you a little bit. All right. You know what Brooke likes? She likes books, and she likes. Did you ever notice that she, when she reads her books, she puts feathers in between the pages? Maybe you should get her some feathers for bookmarks or something. She might really like that. You know, I saw Coco and Squeak. They were playing with some. You could probably collect them up.
looks over.
I don't know where they got them. They must have like ate a bird or something that landed on deck.
Says, "Well, this is a fortunate opportunity then."
What can I say? You know, wingman.
You know what, Zachary, oh boy?
Remember, say less. Just kind of give them to her. Kind of wiggle your eyes at her a little bit, and you know, don't talk though.
You know, Zachary, you're not so bad sometimes.
Oh. You're not so bad occasionally.
Winks at you. His mood has turned around completely. He's what a nerd. He just goes.
I'll give him a pat on the shoulder. Have a nice night and good luck.
Goes.
And I skip to my cabin.
Brooke is already smitten with me, but this will just seal the deal.
Mm-hmm.
The love triangle he thinks exists but doesn't.
Oh no.
This is-
this poor bastard.
This is a love.
Now we know why the Leviathan Legion wants Zach.
This is a love parallel line. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of time travel to get where we want to be.
Wait quickly before Zachariah comes up with something else.
but we are going to go ahead and call for a break.
Break time.
Go ahead.
Snacks.
Tim,
Yes.
just a little thing, since we're time passing, I'd like to state that Hilgen would have used his ability of navigation to basically make it difficult for anyone to track them. If they were trying to track them, they would have disadvantage.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Yeah, on top of that,
I
and on-
actually have one little thing too,
Oh my god, you guys.
but it's not something that needs to be played out. At least.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be played out for me either. It would be just a matter of the reason why he asked about the mountains or like the part of land is because Hilgen would have attempted to go for an area where there may have been an island or something of that sort. He would have cast fog cloud, and then he would have used the fog cloud to basically shroud the movement of the Injusticar as he then used his maneuvering to make it difficult to find, if not just losing track altogether.
You guys are too cool. I'm pissed. But no, absolutely. Just flavoring
Fucking
that.
go.
Yeah, you're pretty hard to follow. And you put a fog cloud, you look like a ghost ship everywhere you go. But we're going to go on break. See you in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, Jenny,
Jenny had one thing.
Yeah.
My one thing is just more for Emma's knowledge.
Yes.
Daphne would have told Aura probably the next day about the fact that she lied to them about what's his name? Zachariah's boyfriend, Daryl. Daryl being treated well.
Oh.
And she just don't want to freak him out. And she will also say that she scryed on him again and last night, and that and tell her about that he's healed, wearing nicer clothes. And
Oh
traveling.
no. Okay, we can't play this out, but that's really fucking important.
Maybe after the break, if we
After the
Yeah, we'll
break.
play that
After the
after
break. After the break.
Information.
All right. We'll see you in a bit. back. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great break. So, I'm going to dive right back in. So, Daphne, you were prepared to tell someone something?
Yeah, I guess we'll roleplay it out instead of just tell.
I'm sorry, that's just a lot of information.
It is, yeah. And then it actually is probably a good idea to actually get to talk about the implications of that, so you're right. But
Y'all just keep trying to slide things by with me. It's not gonna work.
in the morning, when she'll find Aura first chance she gets, and ask, Captain, can we talk?
She grabs a mug of coffee, assumedly from the kitchen, because she's hungover as shit. And she'll, she's a little bit more put together, but you can definitely see bags under her eyes. And she'll, walk with her little tin mug next to you and just nod.
She's like straight to the point too, like as normal.
As per usual. There's no warm up with Daphne. There's no how's your day, how's it going? And we just go right to.
I hadn't gotten the opportunity to tell you yet. I wasn't truthful about when I scryed on Brando and saw Daryl. He was not well. He was clearly beat up, and Brando scolded the men who brought him in for that, but he knew I was watching him that whole time, so who knows if he actually cares or not about that. But I scryed again on him last night. Not on Brando, but on Daryl specifically, because I wanted to see if he had a reaction to the compass. If he was somehow magically connected to it, somehow, or something. And I didn't notice anything like that. But I did notice he was healed, nicely dressed, and in a wagon.
Quite the treatment for someone they just, I assume, verbally and physically abused.
For perhaps months, depending on how long.
And I assume you did not tell Zachariah because...
He was acting strange with that half of the compass that day, and wasn't really being forthright, which I know you said you wanted to give him time and everything, of course, but I didn't know how he would react.
I think that's a
decided
fair
it's probably
assumption.
better not to worry him.
You did it out of a kindness.
She nods.
Then I can't be upset. Given what we know now, that Zachariah would prefer to head right to the Sorry, this is Emma. I keep wanting to say Orthandor. Is that
Or
the name?
Hondor.
Or
Or Hondor, motherfucker. Or Hondor. We can just say that's a lapse in Aura, like, being trash as fuck. We know that his first objective is to get who I assume this is someone special to him.
That's what it seems like.
And if we gave him this information, My question for you, Daphne. I have my own theories. But why would you doll up a prisoner and put them in a nice wagon? One with the connection to a certain navigator.
It's hard to say when we're not even confident why they wanted us to have the compass. But the timing... It's just the timing, partially, that alarms me, or... Because it's not like they would have prepared him as some sort of act, knowing I would scry and watch them. I don't know.
But nonetheless, the timing.
Mm-hmm. I might be able to watch again and see if I can tell where they're going.
I
But there
would
is the risk.
be careful. Yes.
Yeah.
I would rather you not.
All right.
You do what you see fit, but I'm concerned for your safety. Especially since Brando so clearly was able to see you through your magic, which is quite powerful.
I don't believe he was able to see me. He's able to see the magical eye. And he wouldn't know it was me, but I assume he does.
You're one of the few casters on our ship, Daphne.
She nods. And it would be easier for me to scry on him because I know him. I don't think there's anyone else here who has directly met him. Well, unless Zachariah has, but I hadn't thought to ask him that.
The interesting thing with timing, unfortunately, Daryl seems to be, I could be wrong. He was healed, you said, as well?
Yes. No signs of the injuries
From
that I'd
before.
seen.
There are a lot of bargaining chips, I feel, being laid on the table, Daphne. Daryl most certainly could be used as one of them. He is Zachariah's greatest gift, it seems, and strongest weakness.
It's just why give us this compass unless they always intended to send Zachariah here to use that connection, even if he's unwittingly a part of it.
And why our crew?
There's that too. Most of the grudges on the ship are with Aelores.
Which, funnily enough, speaking of timing, last week my father was arrested for treason. It's been 10 years he's been able to avoid such... Yes, he's been cajoled in, wider circles, and his loyalty has been questioned. But I find the timing of everything fascinating. Especially given that we are in between those two naval waters.
I think so too. I don't think things often happen by coincidence.
What do you want, Daphne?
What do I want?
What do you want?
Well, in regards to this, I want to know more than we know. I don't want to walk into a trap. Or if we do, I want to know what that trap is. If Brando is pulling strings and orchestrating things, I think it's very dangerous. He's very smart.
Not as smart as you.
No.
Well, there's only so many sources of information we can go to in regards to Brando.
I can't watch him. Not without him knowing, so we wouldn't gain anything he didn't want us to.
And
I'm
I've
sorry. I can't
No,
watch
go.
Daryl without risking him being there. The only reason I watched him was I assumed he'd be back in a cell. Now I'm not sure.
No, I have a feeling his cell days are over. Is there anyone else you can think of within the Leviathan Legion where we could potentially gain information?
Question for Timmy. I haven't gotten to meet Brava, have I?
I will say that if you spent time in the Navy, the two of you have probably been in the deep together.
Okay. She would go then. There's the Admiral, Brava Alto.
The hot one?
I don't know. Sure,
Huh.
but
The water genasi, right?
yes, but
Hmm.
I'm not sure. It would be the thing about watching people is unless I can glean something about their surroundings or their location, it's just luck of the time from when I take a look. I believe her to be being manipulated by Brando. I've always thought that. Why else would he build her up to where she is? And so it's possible it's connected. It's possible he is there or notices my influence. Less likely, I think, but I don't know how much I could gain from that.
Given the timing of everything, I believe now probably would be the best time to look. And other than the Admiral, can you think of anyone else around Brando where you might be able to glean some information and give us some insight?
I'm not confident it's connected to Brando, but maybe I can scry on that kestrel. Maybe find out who it belongs to.
I think that's a great idea. Somehow it's all connected. I just can't see the fucking full board yet. And she takes a big swig of coffee.
How, with your father, do you know what happened yet?
No clue. If anything, it's another bargaining chip on the table.
She nods. You can tell she's purposefully not prying further.
You see that Aura is very pissed now. Not at her, just like in general, angry at the situation. My question is, do we tell Zachariah? Do we let him know what he's walking into with his friend?
I don't think so, personally. I want to know more about Daryl himself, to be completely honest, and their situation. And he was a lot more forthright last night, which I appreciate. But I feel as though I'm not sure how to predict what he'll do if his self-proclaimed primary goal is in the equation. Is all.
Inhales deeply, exhales, and you hear in her head, these are all fair and valid points.
You want to help him.
This is why you're the first mate. She just says, you hear in your head, I don't like when either navy has me keep secrets from my crew.
I think it'll come out eventually one way or another. I just want to be careful about the timing.
Shall we come to a compromise?
What do you suggest?
I'll give you time to glean as much information as you would like with your scrying. And when we land, not sure if this will get us any foothold, but just to hear what the locals are saying, just to get an idea of what the landscape looks like currently politically. I'll get you as much information as I can. And then once we have a standard amount, there's only so much we can gain. Before we get to the bandit develop, I would like to inform Zachariah, so he is aware of who are his allies.
All right. I think it would be better for his sake anyways if I have more concrete details to give him anyways, rather than leaving things to question.
You're a very sweet girl, Daphne.
I mean, it's just basic consideration.
Yeah, not many people have that. She opens her mouth and you see a mangled fucking tongue. Closes her mouth.
I don't refer to the people I think we were dealing with a lot in our upbringings as, well, people. Personally.
Yes, if we should ever encounter the Dick on the Seven Seas, I shall hold him down for you and you can do whatever you want.
You won't even have to.
Oh. You see, she kind of like, she stumbles a bit with her mug and coffee sloshes out of it as she steps sideways, like, ooh. She goes, okay, fair. And then you'll hear your head one more time. Is that what you want, Daphne?
When the opportunity presents itself. I have every intent on killing Deacon and our father.
And would you be happy once that is done?
I haven't thought about that.
It's good to sometimes check in with what you want.
Oh, I should start scrying.
Make sure to get some breakfast. Humphrey's making a lovely scramble that I can smell but can't fucking eat in the kitchen. And she, she grumpily, heads up above deck with her little tin cup of coffee.
You gonna scry?
And yeah, with time to go till getting there, I will scry. I will try to attempt to scry on the Kestrel. Since
It's a little
Pilgrim
bastard.
did point it out to us when we were on the ship, so I have seen it that one time at least.
You have. But I'm going to say right away, your scrying does not go through.
Okay. I thought it might not because familiar. It might be a magical familiar is what I was assuming. And then I'll try to scry on Brava.
Okay.
Do you need my DC?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me read the spell, do the little calculations. I don't have anything of hers.
Hold,
so there's not
please.
that.
You wouldn't
I
have
have met the
anything from your
target.
Navy days?
Well, I have things from my Navy days, but I don't have anything that's like hers, I think. A possession or garment of hers. If I had a likeness or picture, but I do not. So my DC naturally
You might.
is 16. I've met the target, but I don't know her well, I'm guessing.
You've met her, but you don't know her well. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just DC 16. Wisdom.
Wisdom?
Wisdom save. And she can see the sensor if she rolls a nat 20.
19.
Darn.
Damn it.
Doesn't work. I can attempt it again later if I want. But
The Kestrel,
all
it
my
just
spells
didn't.
right now.
It just straight up didn't go through. But the next one was definitely. It was resisted, and you can feel it.
That'll be her project. Every time she knows she's gonna have extended downtime, she'll attempt again.
Got it.
But for now, that's all she can do.
And that's just from your invocation, right? There's no spell points are being taken away from you.
No, there's a spell points,
There's spell points. Got it.
but I get them back on a short rest.
All right. Yeah. So, by this point, I would say that everyone awakes, and due to the interest of time, I'm gonna have to speed up a little bit here. No more pranks. I will say that everyone sort of wakes up and starts doing the morning routine. Humphrey states to everyone, much to the chagrin of everyone, that the coffee is out. There is no more coffee.
No.
Captain Aura drank the last cup.
Sorry.
So the supply run is desperately needed. Go ahead and throw on this. So, everyone, the sister ship, the Pardon, which sails next to the Inustakar, that's the ship that's boarded and used to go for these sort of supply runs because the Inustakar is a famous ship, and also it's a very big ship, so maybe most harbors can't really hold it. So I'll say that the entirety of the group, anyone who's going on the run, gets onto the ship, and including Humphrey, Humphrey, Clarence, and Brooke. who wanted to come along.
Really quick before I get on the ship, I have this potion, and it lets me. It's the Vial of Beauty, and it can change one small detail of your appearance for the next 24 hours, such as the color of your eyes, skin, length, color of your hair, etc. I'm going to use it to grow elf ears.
Random or a thinks.
Magical shimmer. Everyone sees as when Jane comes on, that she's sporting a new set of ears.
Are those props?
Yeah, I'm just trying something new today, you know. I just thought, like, going into the town for the first time in a long time on land, you know, and I just trying something new. Lovely weather we're having.
Aura looks at Hildren and go, "Did you recommend this?"
I am going to pretend you did not ask me that question.
I mean, disguise elements are always useful, I suppose.
Wait, should we be going in disguise? Is that...
I'm not disguising myself. I'm nothing to hide. I'm just today trying a new look.
Did I disguise myself? And you see she puts her hair under her ears and goes, "Look, I'm a human boy."
Looks great.
Thanks.
Hildren is looking like Hildren has a moment where like Kenway just lands on his shoulder and then both of them are just kind of like just looking between.
How did we make it this far? The world may never know.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
Clarence goes, "Goodness, I love all of you." This is gonna be a quick trip, all right? Me and Humphrey are gonna go ahead and gather all the supplies we can, and we're gonna make our way out. All right, everyone ready?
Off the Injusticar and on to the Pardon, correct?
You're doing it on purpose, aren't you?
Doing what?
How do you get both of them wrong?
Are those not the names?
Pardon is a normal word. You know this, Zachariah.
Well, I know, but it's a name, so I thought it was... I don't know, Aura told me that was the name.
It's said with an elvish accent. Pardon.
Exactly.
She's completely fucking lying.
We have so many elves here on the ship, like that's why it's called the Pardon.
You have a problem with elves? Brooke goes, just really chill. Just a chill runs down your spine.
Yeah, Zachariah, you got a problem with elves?
Twitch.
Kenway,
You two are matching. How cute.
Hildren turns to the one-eyed Jane. I suppose you do not have a problem with elves, since you feel so easily keen to just take our appearance.
Yeah. You're happy? Yeah. Are you
Well,
happy
I'm
with yourself?
sensing some tension, so I'm gonna go to the next trip.
Great weather we're having, right?
One-eyed Jane, you are getting a chill, dagger look from both Hildren and Brooke.
You know, I'll just swim alongside the ship. Don't worry about me.
Hildren is just like, well, if everybody is ready, and then he just moves to take control of the
Are we all...
the party.
No.
Okay.
Ours is enough. She's going to climb over onto the boat.
I'm going to say, and leaving behind the Injusticar in proper condition, thankfully from you, Hildren, due to your efforts of concealing the ship. You all go on the Pardon and sail towards the port of Aelores. Humphrey takes time he has a rather large list, and Daphne, you speak it over with him as you, Clarence, and Humphrey are very the clerical kind of people. You took note of the inventory and noted what you needed. Clarence is the treasurer of the ship. So,
Get One-Eyed Jane to help too, since she knows she's interested in upward mobility.
One-Eyed Jane.
In those terms.
One-Eyed Jane, you claimed you liked words, but there are also so many numbers, and it's just a lot of like, okay, yeah, so we need 5 of these, and okay, we need to get a lot of whiskey. Like, let's see, just we need to get more marshmallows for the captain, and just
split trips up between these, most likely, and stuff like that.
Yeah, we can afford that. We can get more of these because this is gonna be a long trip. It's just such clerical talk. And One-Eyed Jane, you're just like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, while they're doing that, Aura just looks like she's staring off into the distance as she always does. She's gonna be telepathically telling Hildren everything Daphne filled her in on.
Important. I would say that Hildren would have a moment also. This is something that the entire crew would know. Hildren has an ability called Grapevine, which allows him to send a message to a tree that he does know. And usually that happens is that every time that they dock somewhere, he goes and finds the nearest tree to the town. He makes sure that everybody knows what that tree is. In case that he goes scouting and he goes missing, he can send a message through the grapevine to that tree and they can see it on it.
What else can you do?
I do bar mitzvahs, weddings. We do a little bit.
Hildren does it all, baby.
I'm gonna get I'm gonna attack with a different ability every episode. Hildren is fucking awesome.
I am a Swiss Army elf. But yeah, Hildren will probably use that particular thing as a excuse to maybe walk with Aura in the direction of the nearest tree as they're conversing in sign language.
We're gonna get to that in a bit when we get on land.
Oh yes,
I'll get to you too. But in this moment, sailing on the Pardon, which is a schooner, which is considerably a much smaller ship, but much more better mobility wise. Heading towards following the directions of Zachariah, your navigator, you eventually see it on the horizon, land. Says a sort of mountain that meets about like a tenth of the way into the sky. You see sort of like breaking through like the clear clouds in the distance. A large port town. And getting closer, you see that it's it is a rather like modern built town. The wood and the docks is new. This is definitely one of the the nicer places you've seen. A town of labor. You see that you are already greeted by a big sign that says Moonpaw Construction Company that hangs on one of the buildings next to the dock. And there are people in uniforms and rolled up sleeves, an assortment of different men and women going about and tending to different buildings and objects because it's not done. Everything is still in construction. There is a very large sort of like a statue. Obviously, there's a statue being built here of sort of like golden sandaled feet, and it's not done. There's still scaffolding and such being built around, but you're supposed to sail in between in between two different statues. It seems that would greet you. What the statue is supposed to represent, you don't know yet. It is a town that is still heavily under construction, but it's clean and it's modern and it's nice. Immediately upon docking, you are greeted by a rather tired looking dwarven man. Tired looking dwarven man. Sorry, talking is hard. who greets you all. And he has a clipboard, and you see that there's another human man standing beside him. He has a rather square chin, scrawny in nature, like very like slicked back brown hair, and he's just giving you all like the dirtiest look. They're sitting next to each other. The dwarven man with the clipboard just seems to be like ready to just like this is business as usual, but you're not sure what this other young man's about. And he's sitting with his hands behind his back, too. But he doesn't say anything. The dwarven man goes, "All right, name of the ship, please."
Pardon.
Pardon. Elven people. And he just
I know, right?
Aura flips him off when she hears that. Like, what the fuck? Fuck you!
He's too.
But she's giving her captain hat to Brooke at this point.
Brooke goes, "Have a problem with elven people?" No, it's just you all say things differently.
Or starts to sign an elven sign.
And Brooke just goes, "Get used to it." I didn't mean to offend. Well, you did. Asshole.
We're starting off strong, guys. Starting off strong.
Claire just puts a hand on her shoulder. Just goes,
It's pardon anyways. They're just being difficult.
duration of stay?
Today.
Got it. He goes, "All right." Puts the clipboard aside. Just goes, "So the docking fee is going to be a silver piece." And the money's given over. This is just clerical stuff. And I'm gonna have to ask you. I'm going to ask for everyone to leave their weapons on the ship, if you have any.
Oh, yeah. How many guns can I fit in my shirt? Can I make it look like I got nice boobs if I put them in?
What kind of weapons do you have?
They're not real guns, they're props, because we're actors.
They're actors!
What do you have? Like
Hey,
half coconut punching gloves? What is? They're just you take them off. And just...
I have 8 pistols! I need
Out of curiosity, that thing that Clarence gave me, can it work on multiple items at once?
You're only bonded with one item.
But only one at once? Like, I can't...
Yeah, at once, yeah. And you're gonna have to take it to like an artificer to redo the enchantment.
Oh, you have to fully redo it. I can't just swap it.
You can't swap
Okay, got it.
Hilgen is going to take that opportunity to say, "Is it the problem if I have my bow? I am a tracker and a hunter, and perhaps I would like to go to the outskirts of this land, so I can get some game, which I could also use for trade here."
Make a persuasion check.
Not my strong suit, but okay.
Can I try to help? And the reason I'm gonna ask to help is because I specifically have an ability that I can't use. Normally, it's called discreetly armed. Even while armed, you know how to be discreet and non-threatening. You gain an expertise die on checks made to persuade others to let you remain armed or to conceal weapons or items about your person. But my weapon disappears at will, so I don't even need to use it. So can I instead use it to try to
Yes,
help him?
absolutely. So with advantage, please.
Let's fucking go.
Well, I guess you didn't
Well,
need that.
he didn't need it.
Everyone's spoiling the fucking Nat 20. What's going on?
Go, Hilton!
I swear that doesn't even have modifiers. That's just flat out.
That is the most natural of a 20 you're gonna get.
That is like, look at my skin. I woke up like this kind of 20.
He is a pretty
feel
boy.
bad.
He is a pretty
I feel-
boy.
Feel bad about making fun of elves and their pronunciation, you know?
He just kind of like looks at you and just goes, "Well, you're gonna have to make a quick trip then." Just if you're only staying for today. You
I
can-
also need this sword to help him hunt because I've heard there's giant boars in the area, and you might need a sword when you're hunting boars. And I also have discreetly armed.
Son of a bitch. Wait, okay. Can you read me the ability real quick? Like, is there a roll you have to make again?
For persuasion, right? Okay, hold on.
Everybody is like, do you mind if I bring this cannon into town? Because this is how I light my pipe. So is that okay? Yeah.
So discreetly armed. Even while armed, you know how to keep the fact discreet and non-threatening. You gain an expertise die made to persuade others to let you remain armed or to conceal weapons or items about your person. So I'm going to use my expertise dice to persuade them to let me keep my sword.
All right. Please give me a persuasion check.
More nat 20s. Let's not a nat
Are
20.
you
20.
kidding me?
I have an expertise dice, though. Here you go. 25.
Jesus Christ.
I'm ruined.
I'm ruined.
Like you see the person just goes, "There's giant boars in the area," and then he looks to the man on his side, and he just kind of like does a double take. He just goes, "I mean there is, but," says, "Harbor Master, can we please speak for a second? All right, just keep it. Just do your business and just don't cause no trouble."
I would never.
And you see the other man just goes, "Then obviously, look," says, "Harbor Master, look." And the dwarf goes, "Shh, shh. Enough out of you." All right. And just looks at you. Captain Aura. Just goes,
Biggest
I
smile
suppose-
on her face.
"I suppose you're going hunting too."
She tries to pull her hair down over her ears, like she's a little human boy. And signs that her these are toys. And she's playing soldier.
Make a deception check with I'm sorry, it's with disadvantage.
Oh my god.
We'll also say that I have rewarding repute. Or whenever I visit a settlement, the commoners will tell me very important information. So once we get there, I promise I'll do some good, guys.
Motherfucker.
Once we get there, I'll probably. So deception, you said?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I want to use authority. No, I'm kidding. That was a 9.
9.
It is with disadvantage as well.
I don't think I have to roll it again.
Gosh.
A 10, a 9, and a 10.
He goes. He just gives you a long look. Or he just goes, "They're not coming into town."
She's just joking. Of course, our main purpose here is to hunt.
Her eyes flit over to the harbor master, who's been trying, or his assistant, I think, who's been trying to interrupt him. And she kind of nods at him to speak up.
The assistant just kind of like looks at you. He's been like very narrow-eyed the entire time. And you see the harbor as he's about to speak, the harbor master just kind of like puts his clipboard down, and he just looks at you, Daphne. He just goes, "All right, be completely honest. How long are you going to stay here?"
For the day.
"Cause no trouble. That's all.
No
What? You're
worries.
just allowing them to go into town with their weapons? Says, I've had enough of this morning. Just look at them. They're not going to do anything. Says, Harbor Master, you cannot be lax with the rules. We have rules for a reason. Kipling, enough.
Aura signs to the group, do they not know who we are? Like, she's genuinely insulted as fuck.
You guys aren't flying your flag or anything.
I know,
Hilton-
but she's insulted.
Hilton just gives Aura the look of like, we do not want them to know who we are right now.
She's like, I'm so offended.
Yeah.
And then Estrad just fiercely was like, look at them, they're obviously
So we're free to go.
yes,
Thank you.
just so tired. He just lets you in. Goes,
I was just gonna keep walking, but I'm glad we got through that. No problem. I'll say once we're away.
they're obviously people of low moral fiber. They Estrad this guy just keeps going, and the harbor master's just rubbing his temples.
No, Humphrey makes sure we eat plenty of fiber. He's very strict about our diets. Don't worry.
Humphrey kind
Or
of
it
flashes
takes
his
her
kiss the
hat
cook
back.
apron.
Or takes her captain hat back and slams on her head, and she's very grumpy.
And as they're walking past, Brooke taps the shoulder of the of Kipling, the human, as he turns and looks at her. Brooke just goes, "You're walking on thin ice." He goes, says, "If I catch you saying anything else about us." And then she just kind of like leaves her head in forward a bit, like a little lunge, and he's like, jumps back.
Hilton's gonna call out, Brooke, and just silently just gonna look as a way of just like to let it go.
I give a thumbs up behind Hilton.
She just gives a nod to Hiljan, and keeps walking. So I'm going to say that as you guys are walking up the dock, it's been a while since you've been on land itself. It's been a while since everyone stretched their legs and have gotten out. As you're passing like multiple warehouses, and you're mostly just seeing like workers. Like there's not that many like civilians at the moment. People are on their break and drinking and just doing their own thing. You do come across, and I would say that One-Eyed Jane, you notice it specifically as everyone's like going across the docks. One of the warehouse's doors open with a worker, a large half-orc man, kind of like nestled against the door. You do see tables and tables of like people playing card games and rolling dice. Seemingly a makeshift casino for the workers who work here.
Yeah, I could just like lean in close to the group. Hey, just out of curiosity, like we're just running errands and then we're allowed to all each have our own free time, like. Yeah, okay, cool.
Says, well, the more important thing is it's just me and Humphrey are gonna go to the store, so if everyone wants to do their own thing, we could just name a meetup time back at the docks.
Even better.
That's fine.
Let us not forget what we are here for, and to make sure that we keep a low profile.
Yeah, of course. I say this as I'm backing away towards the casino. The tree, the dock. Meet up later.
I'll meet up at the ship at this time. About,
Okay.
let's just say 12 p.m.
we don't all have to go to the store with you, Clarence, right?
Well, I did say specifically me and Humphrey.
Oh,
Unless
okay.
you want to help us.
At this point,
No.
Aura's looking at Hildred, and he hears in his head, "So target practice? Yes, yes."
He just looks at her with just a question mark of, what?
I know I'm a better shot than you.
Hey,
You're
Daphne.
trying,
Daphne,
trying
maybe you
this
should go
again.
with them.
Maybe
She's
I should.
see this big smile, and she's like, "Well, I mean, it's okay to be a little scared sometimes, Hildred."
I know. I remember hearing you scared when I was tracking you.
She's gonna just definitely like get up in his face as much as she can as a tiny fucking woman.
You see,
she's like,
he just
"That's the
basically
last
just
time you'll hear it."
leans. He just leans, just looking at her like,
21 finger,
Okay.
that's the last time you'll hear it. For I am the. How could they not know who we fucking are? We're on all these fucking goddamn posters.
Do you want them
Yes!
to recognize you?
You hear and hear out really, really loud. Yes, I do.
Hilton just looks at her for a moment and says, say the word and I can just go about the town crying that who we are. So that way we do not get our supplies and we do not get to our destination. We might go down in glory in some strange town that has not even been finished of being built.
Ooh, do you think we'd fight on like some ruins of sorts?
I think it would be the saddest fight that we would ever have.
I hope none of those happens if we just get our supplies and go.
Get the supplies.
Brooke, can you go ahead and babysit One-Eyed Jane?
I was gonna say I would, but
For a moment for you, Zachariah, as everyone's talking, you're the only one who sees this. But down the dock, down towards specifically in between two warehouses, not through the main thoroughfare, you see little bastard stood up, looking towards you, and with his little paws.
She was saying because, like, in the background while you're looking, yeah, maybe Zachariah should go with One-Eyed Jane, given recent
Hey,
events.
I have a question. Could Kenway notice the rat?
I was gonna say, would Kenway notice the rat?
The rat does have the benefits of like being being in the shade of like between two buildings at the moment. Keep an eye on that for now. But for you, Zachariah, what are you doing?
I'll catch up with Jane. I'll keep an eye on Jane, but in a little bit, we've been on board for so long. I would really like to use like a bathroom that's not swaying back and forth. So I'm gonna go do that. Have fun, guys. I'm gonna run off.
Helgen is going to look at Daphne as he says, and who is going to babysit him?
I'm just going to hope today that people can act more like their age.
Or it goes, that sounds boring. Both of their heads.
I lost hope for you a while ago. She hasn't joked around like this for a bit since she became first mate, so she's relaxing a bit somehow.
So Hilgen is not as relaxed as he just matter-of-factly so we are just going to trust the person who has a compass that is leading us to some strange place to be on their own in this town. Very well.
Well, there's something else. Well, actually, Hildren, now that you bring it up, I kind of want to fill you in on something.
I
Very
will
well.
follow Zachariah and I'll go take a. I don't know what was he doing? I don't know. I'll just.
He's gonna use the.
I'll go harass him.
He's taking a piss, so I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do.
Do you want me to babysit him in the bathroom? Because I can, but I hear dice clinking over there, and I really want to go that way.
You do hear, yeah!
God!
The gathering of gold pieces.
Go!
I gotta go. Okay, yeah,
Get us something nice.
Yeah.
Where's what Jane heading up to?
Gambling.
Gotcha.
I walk in and I'm like, I'm here, and I just like announce myself into the warehouse and just
people
sit at a table with dice.
People look at you.
Dying on the inside.
You see particularly this one. This one sort of like water genasi with a big ponytail all tied back, very, very long hair and bright eyes. Just kind of like everyone looks at you and regards you, but this one smiles at you and goes, "Why don't you go ahead and have a seat?"
All right, ready to lose your money. Let's go. And I just sit down.
You're gonna have to take it from me.
Let's go.
So back to you three, real quick, before we continue with that. Brooke does go, I'm gonna keep an eye on her.
Yeah, you should. You really should.
Walks in after her, and everyone looks at Brooke like she's about to make an announcement too, but she's just glares at them and just walks to like the side of the building.
Is it now just Hilgen, Daphne, and Aura outside? Because I know Victor has to leave at 4:30, so I just want to make sure I can.
Yeah.
Hilgen would probably suggest for them to, if there's something to be filled in, to walk with him to like the outskirts of the town to find a tree, as usual, and that would be the place where they can be filled in before he probably goes off to hunting.
Got it. So all of you are heading off into town, the three of you. All right. Of course, Clarence and Humphrey go off to do their jig. And thankfully, Humphrey has a bag of holding.
God bless you, Kev.
So, we're quickly gonna go over to One-Eyed Jane for a moment before we go over to Zachariah. One-Eyed Jane, you see Brooke comes in, but then she just like sits next to there's a makeshift bar area. It's just a bunch of barrels stocked up and like shelves with like alcohol and stuff on there, and she just becomes a shadow. Like it's obvious she was sent here to babysit you. And he goes, "All right, you familiar with blackjack?"
I know all the jacks. Let's go.
All right. Go ahead and name your wager.
Victor has 15 minutes though, right? Just pointing it out there.
Yes. I'm aware.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
How much has he on the table right now?
There seems to be about like it's a good amount of gold. I'm gonna go ahead and say like 79 gold.
How rich am I? I pull out. Ooh. Let's start strong. I'm putting down. How many did you say I had? 70?
Yeah, 79.
I'm putting down 100 pieces of gold.
That's how you're playing to win. All right. And he begins to flip the cards. This is gonna be a very simplified game. Go ahead and roll me a d20. You have to roll over a 13, or you can choose to roll twice, and you have to roll over an 8 twice.
Do I have to make a decision now, or can I roll the first one and then decide?
You have to make the decision before you roll.
Just once.
All right, you have to roll over a 13. Roll a d20.
4.
The 100 gold. As he flips over, you head over a 21. He takes the 100 gold and drags it in. He goes, "I thought you were ready to take money."
It's okay. I'm just a little rusty. It's okay. I pulled another 100 gold.
As you pull out another 100, we're gonna jump over to. We jump over to
gambling vintage.
Oh Lord.
Okay, Hilgen, Daphne and Captain Aura. As you guys are walking through this town, and it's a very it's a very peaceful place. Away from the harbor where everyone is working, you see that this seems to be a promising prospect. But for you, Daphne, this is the architects of Arhondor to a T. Like the way how they lay out their towns and such. But it's peaceful. No one seems to stop you in these really wide roads. So the three of you are heading out of the
Yeah, I
town.
would say that Hilgen, with the guidance of Kenway, would find the easiest way to the clearest way to get to the outskirts of town, or just like the edge of it, where there may be like a nice tree, and he would lead them there. And once, that's where he would take a pause to speak with them.
Okay. You are on a sort of like, there is a kind of like a lack of trees here. It's sort of like a beachy, sandy cliffside. But you do eventually, like after a while of like upwards climbing, get to like a singular tree overlooking like the ocean. It was a bit of a climb to get here, though.
Okay. Yeah, he has a moment of looking at it and says, "This one will do. Now, what is it that you wanted to say?"
Aura's breathing heavy as fuck. Because she has tiny legs and you made her fucking hike. So she points at Daphne.
Me?
And then you hear in her head, just please inform him of Zachariah. As you see Aura just kind of like sits down and curls into a ball because she can't fucking breathe.
She does kind of go, she goes, "You're out of breath, but you speak
It's my thoughts, Daphne!
Zachariah's friend, or whoever, Daryl, I said he was unharmed, but that wasn't true. He was harmed. But the more important thing is I scryed on him again last night after the compass, and he was nicely dressed, healed, and in a moving wagon. We don't quite know what to make of that yet, except that it's unusual and probably is something to be of concern. I haven't told Zachariah.
Hilden has a moment when he looks between the two of them. "And even with this information, you thought it to be wise to let him just go on around the town on his own?"
I think he needs us. That's why he's here. And it's a fair point, though.
Hilden has a moment where he looks up, where you can see Kenway, flying around in a range around them. And after a moment where he seems to just be looking at Kenway, you see Kenway slightly divert its direction and start to fly a little more to hover around the center of town. Kenway now with the information in its head of trying to keep an eye on Zachariah.
I can catch up with him. I was hoping to get some time to investigate or find more information, and I don't know that I can necessarily do that with him around, but I can keep an eye on him if you both think that's the wisest course of action.
I think that right now Even with whatever great intentions he may have, even if he wishes us no harm, we need to consider the fact that there is someone that he cares about on the other side of this story. And we cannot know what that may bring as repercussions for us and for him. It is not that I do not want to trust him, but we yet have to understand the full gravity of that which we are facing, including that compass. Hilgen takes a moment and looks into the distance, into the woods. His face softens as he usually does whenever he is near land and whenever he is near a forest. Aura knows what that look is. And he looks back at the two of you. I will go hunting for a while and see what other information I can get. If anything happens, I will leave a message on the tree should I not return in the time for us to depart.
Question for you both. Is it better to be ruled with fear or love?
Can you rule with love?
Hilgen?
Hilgen has a moment. If it was a choice, then it would be better to not be ruled at all.
The people
But-
who love you don't rule over you.
Sometimes people who love rule out of fear because the love makes it so. It may not be right and it may be crooked, but sometimes people believe they are doing the right thing even when they are not. And that is what is dangerous.
I feel bad that you two have a fool as a captain. But
I feel bad.
But also I'm glad, because that's why I'm still here. But I will say this. I think there's more to be gained than sharing with Zachariah. He is one of our crew.
If you wish to share with him, I will support your choice. But that does not remove the thought that I want us to be cautious, even of him, because it may not be his choice, or it may not be that he understands what actions may come next. But we must all know, and I know that we know, that the choices and decisions we will be making from now on this quest, are going to be heavy for some of us more than others.
The last thing I want is for the Navy to come between me and my crew. That includes you, my friend.
They would need to find me first.
Have fun.
I will. And he just, looking at the two of them, he just backsteps into the woods and turns as he puts his hood up. He blends in with the fauna, with the flora, and just, he's gone.
You guys are really good at D&D. And you're gone.
And with that, I'll take.
And then
also
he's
the
actually
opportunity-
gone.
And with that,
Into the woods.
Into the woods.
oh, I wish I could stay for 10 more hours.
It's okay. We'll
No,
see you next time.
Wish that too, man.
Yes.
Thank you so much for playing.
Yes, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
It's getting heavy.
Yeah. See you guys.
All right. As he leaves, are the two of you?
She does say I think it's a valid point. Regardless of what he knows, what we tell him when we tell him, it might not be the safest for him to be alone. For his sake, too.
I shall go walk with him. If I can find him. I also have this thing, Daphne, where I can get really important information out of the locals.
Yeah, we know where the Bandy Wallop is.
I was gonna say that might help.
The Bandy Wallop. Oh, of course.
You want information, and I happen to have this trait thanks to my class, my martial class, thanks to Advanced with Addition, that just gives it to me.
So, as the two of you venture into town, and also to look for Zachariah, we are going to wind back time a little bit to follow Zachariah. Zachariah.
Off to go pee.
You follow the rat as it scurries in a serpentine maneuvering through the streets. It seems to move very naturally. If this is familiar, then it knows how to act very naturally like a rat.
Mm-hmm.
As you're going through the emptier parts of town, and I'll say that there are civilians, but like I said, this place isn't really finished. Not too many people living here at the moment. But you do see the large sort of like observatory with a sizable like a glass dome, which something you've seen in the Solarian Empire before, something used to observe the stars. And a sign, there's a large plaque on it that says Caligaris Observatory. But the rat continues to move and weave through the streets. And you abide. You can surmise that the observatory is named after the person who donated money for it. And
I glare at it. All right.
You eventually see the rat go towards a sort of like tavern style building, seemingly with still like fresh paint, fresh paint on the sign on the outside. A very beautifully painted picture of a flower, very intricate and detailed. And the sign on the tavern says "The Good Dahlia." It has sort of like those like kind of like push open doors, so it's not like a complete like, it's not completely concealed on the inside. You see the rat runs right into that building. You typically the sights and sounds of a tavern is that you hear people on the inside, maybe the clinks of drinks, the sound of music, and the pungent smell of whatever drink they're having assaulting your nostrils, but none of that. It's quiet and serene in a way, bright on the inside. As you take a step towards that place, something grips your heart immediately. You stop as your body becomes tense for that moment. Vitriol, hatred, negative feelings that you didn't even know you were capable of. It sprawls. It starts at your chest, sprawls through your body, shoots into your fingertips. You can't discern what it is, this object that you feel like it's so close to you. located inside this tavern. For some reason, your body, your mind is screaming vengeance. And you don't know why. This anger, this anger, this immense hatred gives you control of your body once more. But memories fly through your head. But you can't discern what's going on. Everything is happening too fast. Nothing is steady. You were just walking towards this building, and then all of a sudden everything was thrown for a loop. But now all you can do right now is step forward. Are you going to step forward, Zach?
Yeah.
You do. With every step forward, the feeling intensifies. You hear... You can't discern. Are they cries for justice? Pleads for vengeance? It is an assortment of voices. But every step is heavy. Eventually, you move towards the push open doors. And as soon as your hand touches the door, you open it. You see the rat scurrying across the ground towards the bar, where you see an elderly gentleman sat at the bar. He seems to be the only one here. Gray-haired, a sculpted face. His eyes peer over for a moment before he looks down at the rat. You see that in his sort of like furred cloak and exterior, that a bit of his neck is exposed and some of his arms are exposed. You see tattoos of many depictions of like many different animals. He reaches down towards his pant legs and he just curls one of them up towards the bottom, and you see little bastard, the rat, jump towards his leg, towards an empty patch of skin on his leg. And as he does, little bastard becomes ink, splashes against his leg, and the form resolves with a tattoo of a rat on his leg.
Do I see a kestrel?
You do. On his neck. It's at this point he looks towards you, and you feel it. The source of your hatred. The old man looks at you, and he just goes, "Never thought I would see you again." And you've never met this man before. But wait. You hear it again. "Please don't. Please, he's all I have." That cry from before. Your eyes open. You see Daryl tied. You have a knife in your chest. And you see the face of this man pulling away another man who seems to have gripped the knife in your chest. This old man pulled the man away. But nonetheless, your vision reverts. Brando Caligaris is seated in front of you. And he just goes, I was wondering if you would like to have a chat about some present circumstances.
Where is he?
He pulls out a stool and gestures.
I'm not playing your games. Where is he?
Zachariah. Last I saw you, there's a regretful course of action that I wanted to prevent happened. But typically when someone is stabbed in the chest and thrown into the sea, they usually don't come back. And yet, here you are. I've kept your boy safe. He's been helping me with a few of my pursuits. And he's fine.
Where?
He goes, I had He goes, would you sincerely do me a favor and take a seat? You have so many questions. So many very important questions. And we, at the end of the day, we want the same thing. Zachariah, I did not want whatever had happened to happen to you. But I can see it in your eyes. You have so much vengeance. The person who died that day is not the person that's in front of me right now. And I have no idea what's keeping you together.
I pull my rapier out.
You don't want to do that.
Where is he? Last chance.
He's exactly where he needs to be. Just, I was thinking a good place for you to meet him would be at the, what's it called? What did he call it? The Bandy Wallop? That's a quaint name, if I'm being completely honest. I'm going to give you some advice right now. Sincerely. You don't want to hurt me. He holds up his hands. Just like a calm down gesture. There's multiple rings on his fingers. We're just here to talk. No need for violence, no need for blood. I never wanted this to get to this way. If I had my way, you would be with him and we would be sailing towards Hunlusa together. A place of divine importance. Something that I'm terribly interested in. I'm sure you're interested in for other reasons.
Bring him here. Now.
Like I said, he's where he needs to be. Zachariah, don't you see? I want to help you and your friends get to where you want to go. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I've been caught up with this whole battle with the Aelorian Empire and such, so I've been a little busy. But I want to guarantee you get where you want to go, and you need the information I have. And I need you.
Fuck.
He goes, that compass. Did you get it to work?
You know the answer.
The boy and I, we've been trying our heads at everything to try and get that accursed compass to work, but he says, for some reason, it only seemed to work with you. I figured it had to be tied to you in some way. That compass broke in half the moment you were thrown overboard. It flew towards you. Something is very, very special about you, Zachariah. I saw it with my own eyes. Daryl didn't have to tell me. But he misses you. But sadly, we're a little late on the draw on a reunion here. Now, would you want to take a seat? So you can see the map I'm going to put out?
Hold it up.
I don't ever tell you you have a scary set of eyes. And he reaches down towards like a small bag. He pulls out a map, rolls it out. He rolls it out. He tries to flatten it, but it keeps curling up. And he goes, "I'm sure this is a problem
Use
you have."
both hands.
He holds up. He begins to. He flattens out the map and he begins to hold it up. What you don't understand is you feel all of this vengeance, but he wasn't the one who killed you. As he flans it out, he holds it up, and he goes, "Now, the Aelorian Empire, they've got all sorts of new technologies to keep maintenance on us, to keep their eyes all over the ocean. There's a town here." He points at a town specifically located on the Aelorian Empire. It's called the Afros Harbor. I'm going to go ahead and type that out. Goes, "There's a lighthouse here. Keeps watch over a great portion of the Riverian Ocean. Your crew flies their flag there. That nice Inusta car drives past there, it's going to become rubble. Hellfire is going to fall from the sky. You're not going to make it. None of my ships have. You destroy that light tower in the next week to come, because they have to take it down for maintenance. You have the biggest window you need to get where you need to go. You see? I want to help you.
Why?
I want to see the Bandy Wallop too. Or Hanlusa. He goes, "You see, Zachariah, You have important questions, and I have important questions too. And all I want are answers. That's all I want. Honest. Yes. I am a big believer in knowledge is power. Yes. And I can't imagine what kind of knowledge I would find in this lost divine society. I have your interests at heart, but I can't say the same for your crew, though.
Bring
Fucking knew they would do this. I fucking knew it.
Daryl here, and we'll talk.
I'm afraid Darrow's a little far.
Where?
Heading up north. Away from all this nasty war and business. I want you to see him, too. There's nothing I would like more for a reunion. I'm an old man. I've seen many in my time. But I would be careful around the company that you keep. As you figured, I have eyes and ears everywhere. Yes, but a few nights ago, your captain was playing a little game of chess with that old orc. Did you know what she referred to you as? A pawn. She valued your ability that you would never go back.
Fucking Humphrey. Nothing.
She valued the fact that you can only move forward and that you can't go back. Someone always has to look out for someone. Zach.
Who's looking out for you right now?
Don't do anything. I'm only trying to help. You hear the sounds of footsteps descending the stairs. And then you hear, "Don't. Deacon, stay."
Fucking knew that too! Oh!
Heavy footsteps descend as you see a heavily armored, tanned, man, sun-bleached man with long, sort of like really frazzled, unkempt brown hair, with a large red axe on his back, descends the staircase. And the vision is familiar to you now. This was the man who had lodged a knife in your chest. But he's glaring at you as he just takes a step down, as he continues to descend, and you hear, "Deacon, behave." And you see this large armored man crosses his arms and just bores a hole through you with his intense eyes.
Yes, Deacon. Behave.
I don't take orders from people I kill.
Well, you did a piss poor job of it, didn't you?
All right, the banter is nice and fine and all, but we have more important matters to tend to. Goodness. Deacon, go back upstairs. For crying out loud. And seemingly, Deacon listens.
Your dog is well trained.
He is. Sometimes he just he acts, but he doesn't think. You know?
His sister's much smarter.
Hard to argue with that. You're right. Zachariah. You're so tense. Is there anything I can do to lighten the mood a little?
Where is Daryl heading?
North.
To where?
There's a town called Fuchsia. And off the top of your head, that is way north. That is very, very far north.
How far north in regards to the Bandy Wallop on the map?
Beyond where the Bandy Wallop is located. This would be like a month-long trip. Your heart, I could tell it's fond. That's the distance created between the two of you. I see that there's nothing more that you want than to see him again. There is a fire you feel in your fingertips. It crackles, the pins and needles. You do gain an ability. If you strike Brando Caligara specifically, you deal an extra 4d6 damage per hit.
When he said that he was heading to Fuchsia,
Can I do an insight check?
Yes.
Tell if he's lying. So I would apply my vendetta to him because I believe this is anything. Yeah. And then I believe I would add, or is it? Watchful Eye, have advantage on insight checks made to determine hostile intent or predict violence. Would this apply?
This would not apply.
Okay, sorry. Stage 1's plus the D4. Okay. Insight. 10 plus 2 is 12, plus 5, 17.
17. So. Zachariah, there's a thing that you remember. It's your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
You've been among the worst. You've been with cutthroats and and people breathed like people lied like they were breathing. This man has the smile of a devil that you can't trust. And you know better than to trust these kind of people. He is really good at this. He can probably tell you that the sky is blue and that he would probably be lying. He rolled a natural 2 with a plus 14 modifier.
Fuck you, Marlon Brando.
For a total of 16.
I hate this guy.
Fuck you, Marlon Brando.
There is deception behind everything. You don't know how far back it traces. He is a natural liar. And so far in this conversation, he's probably one of the best liars you've seen. A devil in clothes. Zachariah?
Dusha, you said, right?
He nods.
Is he still got the seat pulled out?
Yes.
I kind of relax my hand a little bit. Lower my weapon.
He lets out a sigh of relief.
Let's talk. I will make my way to the seat. And sort of place my hand on the bar. And as I go to sit down, I'm going to spend 1 exertion point, and I'm going to use my knockdown assault on him.
Roll with advantage.
I have.
Hope we can get to him.
He really is gonna beat all the old men.
I have an expertise die on all creatures
men.
that I have a vendetta against.
On all elderly?
Yeah. And this is also a mastered maneuver as well. So.
Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna puke.
That is a 19 on the die, plus 3 on the expertise die. So that's 22, plus 22, plus 10, so 32 to hit.
That most certainly hits.
Okay. You said it's additional 46?
Additional 46 using your rapier?
I am. All right, so the rapier is going to be 12 damage plus 10, so 22 plus 4 more, 26, and it is a master maneuver, so 30 damage on the first hit.
30 damage. Got it.
And it is a magical rapier as well. And he needs to also make a save. This is going to be DC 19 or be knocked prone.
What is the strength?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Got it. 5.
Okay. He is knocked prone, and I get to make my second attack.
Wait. Before you do that.
Yes.
You immediately lunge towards him, rapier in hand, and you sink the rapier deep into his chest. There is some resistance, but it pierces right through, and you see blood trickle down. He just goes, ah! As he's like holding onto you, one hand on you, as you lunged into him with such vengeful hatred that you actually like knock him down as you kind of like lean down with the blade still in his chest.
Want to speak the truth? For once in this conversation?
The hand that he's using to like hold on the blade, that's weak. He just goes, Zach. And you see one of the platinum rings on his hand light up. And he just goes, you ever heard of a spell called Warding Bond?
No!
And in the distance, you hear, ah! Ah! Daryl. And that is where we're going to stop this session for now.
No, wait,
No! Oh my
wait,
You
hold
are
on, wait.
mean.
Hold on. Wait, real quick. So before Victor left, he sent Kenway, to go find Zachariah, and Daphne and Aura are already on their way to go find Zachariah. So I just want to establish that while we wait for the next episode. I just want to have that established and in place.
I wasn't hiding trying to follow little bastard, so,
He wasn't hiding it, yeah, and like.
I feel sick. I feel literally nauseous.
I was literally like, wait, Daphne and Nora are coming. Oh, it's okay. Like, oh God. Because Deacon's there too.
With that said,
He's a psycho.
we'll see you next week.